You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide. Divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE. We originate, not imitate.
In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. Mr. C.O.P.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
You're live in the mix with the one and only.
Hey, this is Justin Timberlake, and this is
In the Village.
Yo, what's going on? This is Jersey Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, what's up? This is Ludacris.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj.
You're rocking with the best. It's In the Village. In the Village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. Mr. C.O.P.
It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me, man. You know this struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, cover, cover. Cover me. Cover me. Cover me. Of thine eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me while you fix it, Jesus. Cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother. Cover my sister. Them who under pressure. Cover, cover, cover. Cover the preacher. Every church worker. The young believer. Cover, cover, cover. The worship leader and intercessor. Every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me, man. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with
truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
To our cherished listeners, partners, and the entire WZYE family, we extend our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support throughout our journey. Special recognition goes to key pillars of our community, Mr. Wall Street, Uncle Tommy, and Mr. COPs whose vision and dedication helped transform a humble beginning of just 5 listeners into the influential voice we are today. At WZYE 95.9 FM, we don't merely broadcast, we pioneer. We are committed to delivering the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Our promise remains clear. We originate. We do not imitate. More than a radio station, we are a movement. We are a community united by shared values. And above all, we are a family bound by integrity, purpose, and a relentless drive to uplift. Reaching 20,000 subscribers is a testament to your trust. We pledge to honor it by continuing to challenge the status quo, amplify authentic voices, and serve the people with courage and conviction. As we move forward, we ask you to hold fast to what matters. Stand for something. Keep the fire of passion alive in your hearts. May God continue to bless you and your families. Together, we rise. The WZYE 95.9 FM family, where truth ignites community.
No more rain, no more rain, no more rain, no more rain. No left foot, right foot, again. No more suffering, no more pain, no more lies. We want to see, we want to write today. No more wrath, again. Bye bye wrath, bye bye, bye bye wrath, bye bye. We're not voting for you. We try a dirty blood shit, I had the toxic, I had the poor boys and all the excuses. I had the no water, I had the stretching of the dollar and the love. No left foot, right foot, again. No more more shuttle, no more train, no more plane. We want to see, we wait. We want to ride today. No more route again. Bye bye route. Bye bye. Bye bye route. Bye bye. We're not voting for you. No more rain. 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 No left foot, right foot again. No more suffering, no more pain, no more life. We want to see, we wait. We want to ride today. No more rough again. Bye bye rough. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. We're not voting for you. We're St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're tired of your Ralph. Bye bye, go with Raleigh and Maduro. No lies, no promises, no suffering again. Bye bye, Ralph. Woo! Woo!
Good evening and special welcome to In the Village. This is Uncle Tommy. And I want to, before we start, let me play this for you.
Anselm LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you. Anselm LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I see Mr. COP is in the background. Let me add him to this. Mr. COP, welcome.
Good evening to you, Uncle Tommy. Good evening to the village family, to Professor Walshit and the family. And good afternoon to you, Uncle Tommy. How everything going, pal?
So far, so good. I have a little problem here. Trying to get this. Oh boy, how did I get this? But you can talk. So far, so
you
good.
You tried to get him out of the screen.
Yeah. I did something here.
You gotta call on the IT man. You know, Professor Wall Street. I feel the boss lady is a real IT person. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, the village family. I know when Professor Wall Street come, it has some bombshell videos to drop. What a caring and kind-hearted and trustworthy government we have. Good night to you, KFC, and to the whole BTOM crew. Good night, reporter and Miss Santa Cruz and Mr. Intellectual and Caribbean Soul and all the village family. Susan Lalchan and Monica Ramkisoon and everybody. Good night. What a bumper show will you have this evening? What a great show we will have this evening. Uncle Tommy, you get that offer. Yet, but I not go just do so, you know. I go just do so until Professor Walshit come until you understand what you're doing over there. Just like me.
Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But I want to figure it out.
Well, I just never get it right. My son does how to do everything for me. My son does how to do everything for my Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy. So what you seeing happening in the news, in the Trinidad and Tobago news that you find interesting, Uncle Tommy?
Well, I find it's more the same. Talk about wages and wages and wages.
Especially when the country has no money. Especially when the government saying it has no money and the PNM saying it has no money. And what do you think about that $100 million in medical equipment just leave to rotten? Just leave to
That's
rotten.
sad. That's sad. Very sad
10 years.
stuff.
10 years and just have them thing rotten down there after taxpayers pay for that.
Sad.
Millions of dollars in medical supplies too just gone to waste. Millions of dollars just gone to waste. What Keith Rowley and them was really doing with we money? There wasn't governing, there was just full in the pocket, Uncle Tommy. And what a can't full the pocket with the money just waste. Millions of dollars in bus parts and just can't use them parts and them for the wrong bus to buy it. And we had to accept those things.
Incompetence.
That's real sad. And today them talking, Uncle Tommy. With $100 million, all them children and them could have get laptops. And with $100 million, at least about 10 schools could have renovate, Uncle Tommy. All them schools and them today supposed to be clean with that money. They just spend me money and just leave the equipment. Well, they didn't spend the money. It's what the People's Partnership buy and put over there to open the children's hospital. Uncle Tommy, you ever ask yourself why the citizens of this country, especially the PNM supporters, why they don't want a children's hospital? You know that children's hospital in operation right now? Opening in parts. The university, the DB University, that in renovation right now, looking to open up the first quarter in January in 2026. I ask myself why them don't want these things. Why they don't want something good so that the future of this country will benefit. Why they don't want educated children in this country. Why they don't want children to get the opportunity to go forward in life. Why? When you look at it, what type of government we had for the past 10 years? At Trinidad and Tobago, what type of government we had for the past 10 years? Today we see just Armenia.
Too much politics and spite, man.
Good evening to you, Professor Wall Street.
Welcome, Professor.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. You're all going to go ahead. And when you get a chance, we can go to the live with the UNC.
Yeah, well, you do what you ought to do. You do what you ought to do.
We were holding for you.
Okay, hold on.
Use the trendsetter here, you know. I don't know if I use the right word, but
our own. So instead of making them whole, because at the end of the day, due praise asset, was more than his liabilities.
That's right.
Still making money.
That's
So Kenali, yes, you raised the point for Professor Kojo with where all this wealth went. Issues.
Getting model. It is about making money, and it is essentially about the wealth gap that Bernie Sanders talks all about, and that has, would you say that one ethnic group in particular has enjoyed much of this wealth? Yes, but the issue, as Mr. Pandey indicated, but when he got into office, he would argue he got co-opted with many of that, but and he didn't make the fundamental changes. I think Mrs. Prasad Bissessa saw, and we must acknowledge that the wealth gap widened to historic proportions over the last decade. And while I don't have the empirical evidence on this, I think it's the widest it's been since independence, right? And there was an uprising after 8 years of Dr. Williams as Prime Minister, there was an uproar among the working masses that they were getting nothing. Black people couldn't work in the bank. They were not getting loans. That is what caused the Black Power
I want to get back to
Revolution.
the point that you made.
CLR James
The
spoke
fellow,
about that. But we had that, and then Dr. Williams set up what he called the people's sector, cooperative movement, and so on, to put power in the hands of the working
But I
mass.
want to get back
which
to the,
which never
took
place.
off.
It never took
It
off.
was rhetoric.
Right, and the gulf got wider and wider and wider. Hence, the involvement by the Honorable Prime Minister is historic, and it is breaking a historic bias by a small clique that extends to, I know Dr. Kujo wants to step in, but I'll talk about this after, that extends to the elite ownership of the media.
Yeah.
And that explains the positions of some
I want to put in a historical note here that is relevant to Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bissessa, because from my getting to know her over the years since becoming PRO, one can see it from her biography. The year she spent in Jamaica, that was during the Manley period. Democratic socialism. If I'm not mistaken, she was there at the Bob Marley peace concert with Siaga and Manley, and she was profoundly influenced by that revolutionary movement in Jamaica, and that is a part of her ideology that you're talking about. It is, and then her own background, right? She always talks about. Her office is right across from the market where she used to sell vegetables. She is from that salt of the earth of this country, and she has a genuine personal feeling for it. It's not just ideas and ideology, and she has stood bravely instead of sold out. And that really distinguishes her.
But
leadership.
even Dr. Mayo and Professor, you could come in on this, even with that genuineness, and as Dr. Mayo painted it, this kind of liberal style to manage the country, you still see at times that kind of stereotyping to paint her as, as a kind of a suspicious Indian woman. And I'll give you some examples. When the laptops were given out, the headline was, penal forced to get.
That's right.
Penal is somewhere else, right?
That's right.
Then you had the stand your ground legislation. And the talk was, well, if you pass that, Indians will have guns to shoot Africans.
Yes.
I mean, basically, that is what you were seeing
that's
in
the
the
PNM
information
strategy.
flow to paint her as someone who would not be trustworthy with governance. But Professor, she has surpassed that when you look at the details.
Yeah, let me continue the point with Mr. Ali. A fellow called Engels, speaking about Marx, So that all we have is said that ultimately the economics is what determines what. Ultimately. Race is accidental. In James's book, Black Jacob, he makes that very clear, and Walter defends that. In other words, ultimately, what determines our life is the money and who controls the money. That's point one. But point two is that the antagonisms, I don't believe there's been
who controls the money controls which race gets it, right?
I want to go there yet.
That's part of it.
But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Professor. Yeah. I'm just saying it connected. Yeah. Go ahead.
So what I'm suggesting is that race is incidental to the larger picture of what determines our being, our social, it's labor, our capacity, sell our labor power. So ultimately, that's what Marx says, the wealth is what matters. Here we've had racial antagonisms. As you always say, I never hear some Indian fella just kill a black fella because he's black and vice versa.
Exactly.
I have never heard that.
I've always said if there's going to be an explosion of gangs in this country, people from Laventille aren't going to go down to Carney.
And
they're going to go
what
to
happens to
Westmoreland.
go back to your point that Kamala, apart from studying in Jamaica, etc., she talks about her working in the market. She points across there. But anytime you speak to, and I remember doing an article and I sent a copy, what do you think? And I talked about Hinduism. She always says, I'm also Southern Baptist.
That's right.
I'm always, in other words, she recognizes the fact that someone like I, who grew up among Indians, I could cuss in India.
That's right.
All right? In other words, that she understood that working class, she was not, and she was a Presbyterian. When she took her oath on the Constitution, not the Bhagavad Gita.
Because in our lived experience in Trinidad, past the lighthouse in particular,
and so therefore, what has informed her is a sense of the common man and the common woman. Now, what happened, and which you have to agree, is that in the last elections, you had a new coming together, a new reorganization, a new reformulation of the society. And she was at the cusp of that.
That's right.
Because it's the people ultimately who makes the decision. And it demonstrated in Tobago, in Point Fortin, in La Brea, we are at a new point in our social development. And what she did, she's unflinching. In terms of how she sees the society. And I think now in the second era, I think she said it to me, this is the last era. She got whatever she has to do now, she has to do it now.
That's right.
And therefore she has to be focused. Now, I start with the point that a major problem among a lot of us is that here's this Indian woman and we don't have to respect an Indian woman and that is at the fundamental, and I go back to the papers and I end there. I have a piece here. I don't know if you mind if I look at it.
Of course.
A piece from the Department of Defense. All right, U.S. Department of Defense, and I want to put it, and to talk about on behalf of the U.S., this is, of course, 11th of April, 2024. It says, on behalf, writing to somebody who is in a certain position, on behalf of the United States Southern Command, the United States Embassy, Port of Spain, I present my compliments to you and your staff. I'm writing to you today regarding my previous letter and points it out dated 24 to inform you that due to operational necessity, the previously coordinated point aviation exercise scheduled for on or about the 7th to 21st of April will now occur about 1 to the 5th of May 2024. The U.S. military will be conducting an aviation training exercise with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force with 3 UH Black Hawks helicopters. I respectfully, that happened before.
Exactly.
I read it, but here,
So,
in other words, this nonsense that somehow or the other, this is something new. This has always been the lookout point for Latin America and Tobago.
Marines have been in St. Clair stationed in a house.
When I want to finish my little point, and we'll take one afterwards.
So let us.
I'm begging.
Professor.
Yes,
of course.
This is an official letter.
Adding to that, so
for the commander of the U.S. Navy,
Professor and Dr. Mayhew, we go straight into this whole military operation about whether Trinidad and Tobago is a zone of peace
Not the
what
Caribbean
the Caribbean Sea is a zone of peace. We shouldn't have war. We shouldn't have this. We shouldn't have that. Why you have a reader here? Blah, blah, blah. What is your take on that?
You know, all of that is tied in, and I'm cautious in what I'm saying.
You don't have to be cautious. This is social media.
An underground
We're cautious
economy.
about it.
The drug transshipment business through Trinidad and Tobago, largely because of our geographic location, is worth billions of dollars. Some go to the eastern seaboard of the US, a lot go into Europe. This disruption has impacted a lot of people. We hear on the ground, the media doesn't do its work, but we hear on the ground, but drug prices up and so on, and then the gang wars and so on. And you tie that in also to a piece of legislation, again, the media didn't pay attention to it, that was passed that pertains to the underground gambling industry. The Ministry of Finance, the Minister, the Honorable Minister Tanku, and other agencies have said that is worth each year 3 times what NLCB brings in. NLCB's revenues are $3 billion a year.
That's what Bush, baby.
No, that is.
Or just the
machines.
machines. But the bars and so on.
But it's a much more fundamental point.
But that's the point I'm on.
Let me say one thing, then you go take over. Each society acts in its own best interests. We have 1.4 how much people?
Million.
America have 300 and how much? What percent of the army down here? 10% of the military might? And you arguing some nonsense about whether it could go in or not go in?
No,
it's in our best.
All of that, Professor, is relevant.
It's most relevant.
Yeah, but this is no less relevant. I'm talking about the financial worth of the underground economy in Trinidad and Tobago tied into drug trafficking.
I want to take Jerome's question, which was people speaking about the zone of peace and there shouldn't be war. There's a concept which is kind of harsh, and I don't want to insult people who have other views. But the concept is called useful idiots, right? Which means there are people who are good-hearted. They want peace. They believe in these ideals, and they are used by nefarious persons like the people you're talking about. Like so, and that it's so they're saying, oh well, we don't want war, and they're saying yes. So they're pushing these people to have this zone of peace while they are engaged in billions of dollars of drugs.
Just let me finish my point. Let me tie it into what Professor is saying.
Go ahead, tie it up because I want to go for
the people are being used.
Right. And
the goodwill.
What Dr. Mego
the zone of peace. We want to stay on this zone of peace.
And this is exactly
where we should be as a nation.
And a lot of people who are leading thought on this, as Dr. Mego, a lot of the thought leaders are in the media. And I'm trying to tie a lot of that people who are commenting in media, well, they're political opposition too, and they're the ones who are generating the zone of peace. Right, as a bastard issue, ignoring the realities of how it is impacting people on the ground. Professor earlier talked about people being impacted and they're driven by issues of finance. That is a core issue. The drug transshipment business, the underground casino industry that, according to the authorities, are worth $9 billion a year.
Because the way I see it is that there's a
driving
mix.
the discussion on the zone of.
So, gentlemen, stand by. We're going for a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Stay with us. You're watching Talk Back Live.
TOP, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm listening. Are you listening so far? And the song ain't good.
Yep.
The song ain't good.
So last year, April, it was proposed for the U.S. military to do an exercise here. That did take place. That was a secret, huh?
we can say the PNM just making confusion. Bacchanal is not the first time the US over here. It's not the first time.
It's easy to tell. It's not how the drug cartel. Every day is insults and threats to anti-Kamala. Even declare her persona non grata. But the man blowing up your boat with weapon pointing right at your throat. It is really upset. To Donald, you're not saying a word. So tell me who will be your protector. If ever we are faced with a natural disaster, tell me who is our strategic partner.
Welcome back to Talk Back Live, a UNC special podcast. On set is Dr. Kurt Mehu, Professor Selwyn Kojo, Ken Ali. I'm Jerome Lewis, guiding you through this massive night. And to all our viewers across North America, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. Just to let you know, folks, that the questions that are coming on the YouTube channel, we'll be answering them on the set. Before we went to the break, we were talking about this zone of peace, Professor, and what the ordinary man is saying or not saying about it.
See, my point of is, even my dear friends, look at the people.
Yes.
The people have said nothing. The presumptions that they agree with what's going on, they have
But
not gotten up.
I saw David Abdullah.
With 24 people in the square?
24?
Well, we're 25 then. What I'm suggesting is that people by their behavior, just by their behavior, have really said nothing.
So you think there's a great buy-in for how?
But that's the only way I could read. That's the only way I could read it.
Good.
But that's what I've been saying, and I'm saying that the sections of the media
creating a false narrative.
Yeah,
and nobody's
and
saying
there,
that.
listen, there are some people, and I'll call names, I may call names. The David Abdullahs of this world are caught up in the 1970 rhetoric of imperialism and so on, and that sort of thing. And a lot of that is not relevant in this new globalized world with the dynamics of what has happened with the Caribbean, its lack of development, the drug trade, which has caused so many murders in Little St. Vincent. One of the reasons why Gonzales fell, there were 64 murders, most of them in 1 year, all of them in a country of 110,000 people, 110,000 people. All of that, most of it connected to the drug trade.
That's right.
And he had lost touch with the reality on the ground. And
but Candyman was in power for a quarter of a century.
But no, don't personalize it. I'm trying to make the larger point
Quarter of a
that
century.
the people, as David Rudder sang, are ahead of the leaders. And the people, when you see the issues written, and calling names in the Guardian editorials and so on, they speak, and all of that ties into the earlier point I made about the ownership of the economy, as it were. Right? Bernie Sanders said their religion is greed. Right? We talk about the plutocracy and so on. And that's what is happening here. And they have interests to defend. And they create a lot of these artificial issues. And
they play upon the good, because I don't want to paint everybody who is supporting this idea as being having some interest in the evil order. Because they genuinely believe that we should be in a zone of peace, and they're being manipulated by these people you're talking about who have the agenda.
There's one way of looking at it. So you could call that cliche logic, and that's what you're saying. That cliche
That's
logic
right.
is past.
That's right.
You have to look at
the
what's going
reality.
down on the ground.
Absolutely.
And what happens here is that in terms of, for example, how much of our goods and services come from the United States of America?
90%.
Yeah.
About 90%.
All right. If you're in the international waters, the Trinidad waters, I heard one of the American thing going on. I get fried. Everybody run outside. You have one helicopter.
And not only that, if you take a map of the Western Hemisphere, 100 years ago, it's the same. Every 5 years in the old world, it changes. And that is because America defends. If it wasn't for the United States, Venezuela would have taken us over a long time ago. During Black Power, during the 1990 revolution, they were there in the waters. We are and we are fooling ourselves because we don't have the army to protect ourselves.
We don't have an army.
Yeah.
What I'm suggesting is that people have to deal with the reality of the time.
Correct.
What's in our own best self-interest?
That's right. Yeah.
If we go up there and says, whatever, I said before, we're not going to overtrain Mr. Trump. The people inside the US of A, as you saw in the last election, Mondamian and fellas, are the ones who are going to take care of the business. There's none of it.
But I'm saying, you know, a lot of this is also, gentlemen, built in with a lot of hypocrisy.
That's right.
The last ambassador received a national award.
Yeah.
But
As a non-citizen. The last, well, the vex when you get one. Your own
by the Honorable Prime Minister, I thank a million times over. But go ahead.
Yeah. She got a national award.
That's right.
The former ambassador
That's right.
got a national award. So I don't understand all this hype about all this
American,
US,
all of a sudden,
Professor makes the point about our interest, and I want to extend that thought a little bit. The PNM's manifesto in 2015 on page 22 speaks about setting up an agency, a border protection agency. They set up a committee to do that, and when they went to the National Security Council, it never saw the light of day.
That's right.
Then a committee, a parliamentary committee, a security committee headed by Mr. Scotland came up last year. Big report with the same recommendation. They have never set up. In the meantime, Tren de Aragua. A group of criminals that was formed within a prison in Venezuela has been having free access to Trinidad and Tobago, involving gun running, drug trafficking, prostitution, human trafficking, contraband trade. And now, and we made no arrests. Some of them were coming here, going to the U.S. The U.S. relevant department, the one headed by Christine Noem, ICE, under which ICE falls, they have made arrests in the Bronx and several places of some of those Tren de Aragua operatives, some of whom were coming through Trinidad. A few weeks ago, they have determined another group of criminals, of gangsters, again, coming through Trinidad and Tobago. CARICOM did a report in 2020, said they were coming through and they were tied up to gang warfare and so on. Those are, in a real sense, no, all that could sound esoteric. What that really means is that people are getting killed, gangsters, killing gangsters, killing innocent people, and all of that, carjacking.
And we have had now a 40% reduction.
Right.
This is incredible. The results are here. We are seeing it. From a murder rate of, by this time last year, we were almost at 600, 590 something. And now we're at 300. We've saved over 240 lives from murder, and partially because of this cutting off of the border. And you talk about the PNM's policy. They keep talking about OPV. That OPV was for deep water, not to stop the Venezuelan flow here. And that's when the Kamala Prasad Visesa government came in before. That's what she brought the Damon vessels to do. And then the PNM had it in Staubles Bay, not doing anything. And they kept the borders open, and they kept doing that over and over.
But the question to you gentlemen, did Dr. Rowley face this kind of scrutiny in 7 months, and he spent 10 years? Then Mrs. Prasad Visesa is facing Professor? Because he used to go for a checkup for 1 month and come.
That's right. And not tell anybody.
So all this question about
what I'm saying,
whether it's a reader, not a reader.
And what country he went to? America.
No, what I'm suggesting is that, and that's the point. That's why he had that revolutionary overthrow in terms of this government through their votes. The fact of the matter is he had to answer to no one. The fact of the matter is there was a monopoly of power.
Yes.
The amount of money, if you're in Cal, if you're in UTT, the amount of money that's being spent and owed. All right? In terms of even listen, there was no overlook of anything. And now we're saying, stop it. The CPEP people, stop thieving them. People who making have 3 and 4 gang, stop that. And we go along and say because you must bring an end to it. At my age, I live in my house.
and somebody come in and invade my house, I must look and see whether they come to the back or the drawer first. What nonsense
Yeah, that
is
makes
that?
no sense.
I'm in my
Makes
house
no
and somebody
sense.
show up there. I'm supposed to say, well, are their backs turned or whatever?
Yeah.
Ultimately, life and the perpetuation of life is the fundamental principle of the world. You have to protect yourself. And if you have a story where the government is not doing that, and all the guns are owned by a particular group of people, you are at the mercy of those people. So say, therefore, what we shall do, we shall say now, you have a right to defend yourself. What's so wrong about that? They bring in all of the notions, which I think is so far. I live in the United States about 50 years. I know the United States. This notion of protecting yourself, if you live in certain communities and they call the police there in 5 minutes.
That's right.
We have the situation. I live in Tagarigua. About a few months ago, somebody stole some cooler because they got a eating place there. And this boy at 1 o'clock, often boy run and hold the fella, try them hold on the fella, and they call the police. There were fire rivers only 5 minutes from Tagarigua, Savannah. They take 2 hours to come.
Yeah.
And say, why not keep them? Say we let them go because there's not even the response. So you have to think, I have a different way of thinking about the world and how we see our own society in terms of our own development.
All right. I want to get a question in from, I think this is Facebook, to any of you. Let's just assume the PM disagrees with the U.S. presence in the Caribbean. Do you believe that would change Trump's mind and what
precisely
the consequences TNT would face by not agreeing anybody?
Well, the first question, the presumption that somehow Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has given Donald Trump the permission to come into the Caribbean.
Not.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. And I think that's
what spent to come in here with 10% of the what are you saying about what?
Exactly.
I don't have to say yes.
That's right.
But I don't want to say no also because I know what the consequences of that is for my economy and my people.
But also too, the prime minister, when she was opposition leader, I mean, the number one problem we faced for 25 years in this country was crime. And she was determined that is what she was going to tackle. And it was like a godsend that this mission to fight narco trafficking happened around the same time. It just piggybacked on her policy. She wasn't piggybacking on American policy.
And it was timely.
That's right. They came and basically supported her policy, and she said, yes, this is exactly what we are trying to do.
But Jerome, I also want to say that all of that is taking place falls under the ambit of SOFA. Now, SOFA, as you know, there have been several iterations of that. The last one in December.
SOFA, you have to explain that, you know.
Status of Forces Agreement.
With the United States.
A cushion or something.
No, everybody except Jerome knows that. But the SOFA, which is an agreement that the Americans have signed with various countries around the world. They want to tour up the islands too, and it is about their putting military forces, the military people there with specific measures that they could implement, all right, and the right to bring their own telecom to discipline people by their law and so on.
Right.
Now, it started, I think, 2003, and then there was an update. There was an update in December 2024. And you talk about Dr. Rowley. When the media asked him at the press conference, he said words exactly, I'm not going to give the media a tutorial, all right? No, that's a State Department document. The document, of course, is not easily available. But the tenets of it, the broad outline of what SOFA permits the Americans to do is what is taking place here.
And I want to go back to Jerome's point about the differential treatment.
Yes.
Because this debate now is very much like in the Pandey government about the shiprider agreement.
Yes.
And when we allowed the Americans to come onto our ships through a shiprider agreement, which they have in many countries, then all the validating elite, the media went crazy about sovereignty and criticizing Pandey. And then when the PNM came and signed SOFA in 2003 and then renewed it in 2024, silence. And now, again, when Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, she didn't even sign a SOFA agreement. Right? She did not even sign any new agreement. And they're going on about sovereignty again. It's a different response to the exact same behavior.
But Professor,
these
you
are the things
buy
that-
into the argument that you have to protect sovereignty and all
I
that.
don't go. Yes,
All
you
that-
have to
all
protect
that,
something.
yes.
Yes. But I said a cliched logic.
Yes.
At the end of the
That's
day,
right.
you've got to go in and say, what are the particular circumstances that face
Correct.
your country?
Correct.
We have a deficit. How much? We got to borrow what? $19 billion?
Yes,
And-
well, a lot of that is refinancing. Yeah, so that's not the actual budget
But
deficit.
whatever it is,
yeah, but the
what
borrowing,
I'm
yeah.
suggesting is that, and you now go and say, listen, I don't want them in my waters and all that stuff. And no, Mr. Trump, you know him. And he put some little tariff.
Yeah.
And you can't bring that in, and he put your name because your money, you have put your name, and so they can't touch your money. What thing happening here?
And you get
It's
more,
back now.
and you get more poor people,
But-
and the
Yeah.
wealth
So what I'm
expands
saying,
more and more.
I think the notions of even sovereignty at this time is a different concept
Yes.
than sovereignty was 50 or 60 years
And in
ago.
1970 in particular, there were these words sovereignty and imperialism.
But the
and so
point
on.
is, let me just say one point: the whole native technology. Americans will not invade Venezuela.
That's right.
They will beat them and send and pummel them from outside. Because if at this time America send another body back to the States,
exactly.
Trump gone.
Yes,
He
yes.
will not go in there.
He's trying to get the peace prize.
But he
That's right.
But he knows what it means. Look at the
Exactly.
Congress now. Who said they're the ones that are making noise?
Exactly.
So what's wrong with you guys? Stop, listen, and learn. The time is to be cool.
That's
But
right.
there is a prejudice point of view, and I am tying all of that to the political opposition and tied into the elites in the media and the elites. All of this sinister view ties in, and you notice the issues the media talk about and issues they don't talk about. The media have not written. The Guardian hasn't written an editorial on the monopoly, the pharmaceutical monopoly, and they want to know. Peter Clark is chairman of the Guardian. Why every month the Guardian is losing more and more money?
Every quarter.
It's losing more and more money
Every
because it has
quarter.
lost its basis with the people. It hasn't taken note of the society has changed,
Of
how
course.
people are voting, or what are the issues that drive people, right? The issues with medium and small businesses shutting down, and the society has been reordered since the time of Eric Williams. But the legacy media doesn't understand that, right? And still,
Well, they are part of the old order.
Mr. Pandey used to talk about he's being seen as an interloper. And that's why it is essential. And I started by making the point about what the Honorable Prime Minister talked about. The country doesn't end at the lighthouse and so on. There's a whole new awakening in this society that the legacy media and the age-old commentators who represent that old order haven't come to terms with yet.
That's right.
I want to go to this trade union issue with the 10%. Right? On the campaign trail, the Prime Minister was clear. She said, they're not going to do 5%, they're going to do 10%. She kept her end of the deal, sealed the deal on 10%. Now, there's this.
Be explicit and call names. Go ahead.
Well, I could call names. Well, there are a couple of things playing out. Wasn't it Felicia Thomas?
Yeah. PSA
president, right? She was on the campaign trail. Good platform speaker. So the 10% is paid. Now, I mean, in my view, it's obvious based on the economy, what we knew before, that you obviously can't pay $3 billion in cash. That's my view. That's just impossible. Based on the circumstances, we knew what was going on even before. Anyway.
There's a word called, let me just stop you. There's a word called economism among the trade unions.
Yes.
So
And you know
now there's this gray area about whether it should be part
In
cash
kind and cash.
and part in land or bonds or whatever
mortgage
have
and
you, etc., etc.
debt relief.
What is your take
point? Let me say
on
one
that,
thing.
Professor?
The point is that we have to go back to
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
I bring you a savior. I bring in people from the OWTU. They're members of the party, parliament. People from who else? The other
CW.
We bring in people.
Yes, we have 2 seats, the library seat.
But what I'm saying,
then you have
it's
the Minister of
a
Labor.
new
Yes.
way of looking at the world.
Yes.
Fulfill your deal. And what the Prime Minister will be saying is, listen, I will give you this in return of something. It can't just be gimme, and nobody's saying, hey. So therefore, when I bring you in, you got to understand you are part of a new formation.
Yes.
And when you have insider, whatever they call it, you go and talk to it and say, how do you work this out? Once you come out and talk that stuff, you put me in a spot. And she wisely enough said, well, I don't need to go talk to the CPO. In other words, I don't think they understand their relationship in this new era. You are a member of the government.
When you say the
woman, Ms. Thomas, and the other, I'm saying Ms.
things.
Thomas, because all the unions erupted. And we're going to have Bacchanal next year. I don't care what you tell me. With all these demands which we cannot face, you're going to have Bacchanal next year.
In what way? Meaning what? You mean everybody want 10%?
But we may want more than that. But we just can't, the country
The CW just got 11%.
We just can't. We just cannot do that. We don't have the money to do that.
So there has to be ways of creative financing, and then also seeing the economy different. You're talking about bailing out the banks, and a lot of that, the banks were the corrupt ones, and they were getting money, and the same problems existed, in America and so forth. What Kamala Persad-Bissessa's government is doing is they're providing a stimulus at the bottom end, not at the top end, but at the bottom end. And when properly managed, this is part of a dynamic, expanding economy.
Where we have
not one where the economy is shrinking and you have to think of a pie and it's only a little size and we have to divide the pie. We are looking to expand the pie.
You think this is an overkill?
And this is part of it.
No,
an overkill?
Let me tell you why we want to take off this point from. I saw in the papers yesterday a story that I expected to come, that certain economic experts talk of inflation. They only talk of inflation by the experts when workers benefit. When there's price gouging, you don't hear the experts and the daily newspapers editorialize it.
But just before I finish
when
that point,
there are product monopolies, that there's a newspaper in this country that is linked to 65 companies. All right? Some of them are enjoying product monopolies. And I'm saying again, this is a huge issue. Nobody comes forward. The political opposition, well, they have created
what they are calling as inflation.
Trying to break the status quo is what is
and what they are calling inflation is actually demand stimulus. So it can, once managed well, right? If not managed well, it could cause inflation and everything go out of control. But if managed well, what this does is create a big demand across the society for increased goods and services, and thereby stimulate businesses when it's managed properly. And that's what we have to do.
It could help regenerate the lost small and medium-sized businesses. And Jerome and Professor, this is a key thing. We've lost the middle class after COVID and so on because of the onerous bank charges and so on. The middle class does a lot. Let me tell you, if you go down in the rural communities, when the churches and the mandirs and the mosques have events and the sport people, they don't go to Republic Bank for funding to help to put up a tent and buy water and so on, because Republic Bank help the urban people. It's the middle class that generates and supports provides jobs, help develop professionals, help community activities. And you see, keep tying all of this to the urban-based elite, which had no time for the working class or the middle class for small businesses.
But Dr. Mehu, Professor, we just saw, to add to Ken's point, $100 million in US dollars from the Exim Bank went to one group. And when you look at the circle, it was just like maybe 4 or 5 people.
Right.
And that has been going on for time. I think even Republic Bank had some issues with where all this cash was going. So they're making this $2 billion every quarter, but it was not going across the board.
Correct.
Concentrated in one corner.
Yeah.
And you think it's because she's trying to break all that?
I think
we are having all this pushback.
I think Kurt began by saying that she is a disruptor.
Yes.
There's no revolution without disrupting the
Correct.
status quo. And that is what she is doing.
Jerome, I just want to pick up on what Professor is saying and agree with him. I saw again in the media, the hypocrisy is pulsating in this country now. The small chambers of commerce talking about the inequitable distribution of foreign exchange. They're complaining they can't get foreign exchange.
Of course.
Business have to shut down and so on. So they removed the head of Exim Bank, whatever the...
Yes, I saw
they
that.
They remove him, and now the same chambers of small chambers...
They want to know why he's gone.
Yeah, they want to know why he's gone, and that, not surprisingly, lead story in a certain newspaper this morning.
Yeah. Not the opening of the Coover Children's Hospital, eh?
Yes. At the same time, all roads lead to a certain direction, All roads lead, and the media does not examine this.
But it's not in the interest to do that.
That's right. Because that is the way the old colonial economy was run, right? And so, the way why banks were set up in this country, it's amazing in this country. It's so hard to open a bank account. Shouldn't banks want to take your money? But it's because it was just for the wealthy, like the planters, to send their money back.
The banks just call a penny bank.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Charlotte Street, and why you open the penny bank is because these leading nations never lend any money to the poor people.
The credit unions and the penny banks. That's right. And the banks have always been there to siphon out
you go to
the money.
Bank and you want to get a statement, they charge you $50. The poor people, they get to a one-page click.
In our banks, you lose money when you save. When you put money in there, the bank charges are more than the interest you get. You don't make money by keeping your money in the bank. You lose.
Let me make this one, because with me, a lot of roads lead to the media. The Prime Minister has indicated, and she has begun, she changed directors at FCB, and she's changing directors, government directors, because it's majority owned by the state at Republic. And certain newspapers, again, certain media houses, asking if all of this would destabilize the commercial banks. They didn't ask that with all these onerous charges.
Exactly.
And that's what
Did that destabilize families? Destabilize savings? If you just leave your money in a bank, your balance declines every month. You don't do anything, but it's declining. That's right.
That's where the revolution comes in, and that's where we have to still agitate to support a program like this.
Exactly.
The Honorable Prime Minister said, go forward because we support you and understand what you're doing.
Correct.
And part of our thing, forget them.
Now, I'll tell you, a leading businessman, I won't name his name. I won't name him because he has been in a lot of trouble with the former government, right? But a leading businessman called me today about the Forex issue and the problems he had in butting heads with the past government. And he made an excellent suggestion that he wanted me to take to the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister, which was that all foreign exchange leaving the country should not go through the banks any longer directly out. It should all go through the minister or the Ministry of Finance so they can see the money going up. Because the amount of leakage and sneaking, because this system we've had of foreign exchange is what they call a good faith system. The central bank gives it out to the commercial bank, and then the commercial banks decide how, when, and who gets the foreign exchange.
All right.
No other island in the Caribbean has these kind of limitations. You could go to Grenada, Antigua, of course, Guyana, all Barbados, and US is easily available. Why Trinidad with an oil industry, a gas industry, ammonia, Point Lisas? We can't get US?
So, Dr. Mayo, hold your thoughts, right? So, folks, we're going for a short break and we will be right back. This is Talk Back Live, a UNC podcast.
So again, you guys hear me?
Yeah. Canadian a rule.
Yeah, but for the most part, the fourth estate with their red tutus on are manipulating this economy.
And trying to hold back progress, trying to hold back development. But I like Selwyn Kojo at exposing them. Yeah, them the ones that do good for this country.
What do you say, Professor?
Yeah, the Tommy, you're absolutely correct about the fourth estate. You know, that is very significant. And the second part, when we talk about the zone of peace, if you look at the top 10 countries in the world for murders per capita, St. Vincent is number 1. I mean, St. Kitts is number 1. St. Vincent is number 2. Jamaica is number 3. Haiti is number 6. TNT is number 7. And St. Lucia is number 8. And Bahamas is number 9. Number 10. So think about it. We have all these Caribbean countries / islands who is in the top 10 per capita for murders. And you want to call that a zone of peace?
That's because most of these are transshipment points.
Yeah,
and every one of those leaders and them in those Caribbean islands that you call over there, keeping a blind eye.
Correct. And they want to talk about a zone of peace.
They benefit from it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they want to. All right, let's go back.
Want to also welcome our folks across North America. With us in studio, it's Dr. Kurt Mayhew, Professor Selwyn Kojo. What's the difference? Same thing, right? Professor and Doctor. Ken Ali, independent journalist, and Jerome Lewis taking you through this course. Before the break, folks, we were on the point of banks, monopolies, foreign exchange, where all this money is going. Just to remind those of you following on social media, you can send your questions. We'll get them and we will respond to them on this set. So, Ken, tell me.
I want to talk about the refinery if you allow me, but before that, I just want to acknowledge we're getting a lot of responses, but a media colleague, Sudat Prasad, has sent a note here, which I want to read. In case you are unaware, Terence Dial Singh is a pharmacist who worked for Mute before he became health minister. That's a fact. That is why I'm reading it here. Now,
so that's our unhealthy relationship.
Now, unhealthy. I want to talk about the refinery a bit. First, the government must be commended for the manner in which this was handled. The Refinery Reactivation Committee, which is made up by a former minister, led by a former minister, and made up by a number of qualified technical people, and they did it the correct way. The PNM government had 3 procurement measures. In the end, they selected Oando. Oando is a company that has been suspended from stock exchange. And
they have a little dark history.
Yeah. Oh, well, you
dark history.
He's being racist, met people.
No,
not just
what an unfortunate choice of words.
Yes. They have a checkered history.
All right.
No, you said so. All right.
That's a broadcasting. You should have known, Jerome.
Thank you.
I tried to save you from that. But
go ahead.
So now you have, there's several things I want to say, but I want to get this one off.
Yes.
You have Stuart Young, former Prime Minister and former Minister of Energy, criticizing.
But is he really the former Prime Minister? Because
let me finish
Dr. Rowley set up an office of the former Prime Minister. So who is really the former Prime Minister?
We'll come to that, Jerome. Let me finish my point there.
Sure. I just want to be
He is saying to start back the refinery would cost $1 billion US and so on. but he was the one who was giving it to a bankrupt company.
That's right.
Yeah. He gave it to a bankrupt company. During the campaign, he said they will employ. Let me explain to people, especially people in the North, who may not know, some people in the North know, and people abroad. The shutdown of this refinery has adversely affected the economy in a dramatic way. And I'm not just talking about the fact they were making money and so on. A lot of businesses went from...
The tongues went out.
Ford servicing companies, Schlumberger and all of them went
and
to
the
Guyana
people who were the
so on.
ordinary people getting the small contracts.
That's right.
No longer, and it kills small
And then-
business. I mean, no small business the one who provide
And then even things like restaurants, caterers, and all sorts of things.
Tropical Plaza, all those businesses went through.
And let me also say this. Trinidad and Tobago has one of the oldest oil industries in the world. And we have had
1917,
institutional knowledge pass year after year after year. When we arbitrarily shut down this company in November 2018, we never tapped that knowledge. A lot of the people have died. Petroleum engineers, people they died in grief. Because nobody came to them and recorded it, write it, in some form.
And if we step back to take a look at the structuring and restructuring of society, I mean, this was part of the destructiveness, the destruction of the PNM, because this was a productive asset, right? So when we shut down Carney in 2003, that was another absolute disaster. That was earning foreign exchange. You know, even if we were losing TT money, we were getting euros for that and pounds, right? Petrotrin.
But Dr. Mayo, I mean, just all the thoughts. And Professor made this point, and as you talk about the Carney thing, right? Sugar and so on, right? But I guess a product would last up to a certain time, and then you had changes because the world was moving into splendid. These
people still buy sugar. Sugar is still a massive. I think, and you could use so many. But the point is, what I want to say,
you're saying,
of course,
rather
absolutely,
than close it down, right?
And what was happening, and what the PNM did was dismantle the productive economy, the productive foreign exchange earning economy, and then instead traders came in, and people who just trade don't create anything. They just are buying and selling, and our creative capacity was destroyed.
And that is exactly what happened. So is chicken and chips business, coffee business, Prado, cars, etc. But there's no manufacturing.
But we have won.
We had before.
We have won that war.
That's right.
The people have come out and condemned all of that by their votes.
And that's what we're doing. This is a revolution.
What we have to say now, I live in Tagarigua. They get a bottle works. All of OG land and massive building, all kind of thing on arable land.
Orange Grove.
Yes,
I see it all the time.
I work, and what I'm saying,
remember the aniseed trees they had there and everything? And it's all gone.
What I'm saying, we won the battle with Pinham and Stewart. Let them keep on talking their nonsense.
That's it.
I think what we're going to talk about, how do we transform and make our people understand what we are doing as a party to transform the economy so there's more sympathy for what is being done.
That is right. So people can understand what we are doing and why we are doing it. It's not just, let
me just say one thing. Look at Mandani. You know the fellow from New York? He started with 1%. Wound up with a cross-section, 35% of Jews vote for him.
Yes.
All right, and it is spin off into Virginia and so on. People understand. Our thing is to prepare people to understand and support. I thought this was in defense of our leader, and let people understand what we're doing so we could change their minds. Right. Because at the end of the day, we can't bring in no 101.4 million people. It's the same people who were here before who we have to deal with. What we got to do is how we do change their mentality to understand what we are trying to do in a new world. That is, forget PNM.
Professor, in the Mandami case, 26 billionaires went against him.
Yeah. Jewish billionaires.
26 billionaires went against Mandami. And in a way, as you're saying, the 1.4 million of us here, well, we don't have 26 billionaires here, obviously, but you're seeing that same pushback as you say, with the press in the way how
the
these
old order is being threatened.
And so therefore, how do we prepare for the new order?
One is public education, as you said.
Yes, I was going just there.
Right.
My concern is, how do we, in spite of all the things that we are doing, how do you factor in education in its broadest sense to transform this new order? Because at the end of the way, a cup of milk don't decide what a cup of tea costs. It is people. This question of the scarce resource and all that allocation.
Well, you are well placed as the head of UTT.
You have to get the support. I'm trying to say to you, you have to create an atmosphere where we understand.
That's right.
That is where that fundamental,
and where we have these conversations,
I older, etc. But to get people to understand that their participation.
And this is exactly why when the Prime Minister was speaking about dismantling URP and CPEP, saying, listen, we cannot have a nation of grass cutters. She wasn't being cruel. She wasn't being heartless. She was speaking out of love because she knows that this is not a future for you, right? We want a proper future for this country and for you, your children, and that is what it's about. It's creating this productive economy.
I just want to add one line to that. Among those who criticized her on that, among those, I mean, several others, was Faris Al-Rawi, who pulls in over $100 million a year. Right? So it typifies what PNM has done through the years. He's a man who recused himself from cabinet meetings well over 100 times.
And we can see it in a shorter period of time of what happened in Tobago. Because when the PNM took over Tobago, it was not, there was agriculture, tourism, small business, and then basically over those 20 years, almost everybody worked for the THA. Those things closed down. Yeah, and the whole labor force basically worked for the THA. That is that model. But and now that we have elections coming up in Tobago, this is what Farley and Watson Duke, I see, teaming up with Farley again, saying that they want to fight against that and make Tobago productive again, wealthy again, and have dignity and pride, and not just beg the state for employment. This is what we have to create here, and this is what Prime Minister Kamala Prasad is doing in a revolutionary way. We've never seen these types of changes in this society before, so fast, so much in almost every single area.
I want to go to you, Professor Kojo. You keep talking about this revolution and the revolution. In your own viewpoint, your own mind, of all the things that KPB 2.0 has done, which one really, would have impacted you to say, yes, I like that?
I like CPEP.
In the terms of,
I like CPEP. Yeah. I like CPEP. Cut them. It's non-productive labor. 3-man hold up a thing and so on. Where are you going with that?
Exactly.
Now, I think language is important. Would have made a difference if you said, listen, we are suspending this program as we look at it once we go terminate it. In other words, language becomes a very important part. But sometimes it says we are thinking of a new order. You can't begin to do what you're doing. I like what happened even yesterday in terms of $100 million, I think, just put aside. We have to do another way of looking at development. So my sense of it is you have a new order. Look at the fellow people, even the makeup in terms of who is the deputy prime minister, who is the AG and so on. It's a different way of trying to understand and utilize our talents in a way that draws on. I think it's another way of, and she has the foresight, but she's brave.
And the belly.
That's right.
She has the
brave.
And what I'm suggesting, but so you're talking revolution. I saw another in that I also think in terms of the life she understands. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, or you read the Gita according to Gandhi, the different stages in Hindu life, but she says also sort of Baptist life, when you go through different stages, family life, etc. When they come at the end and you're saying, no, what do I want? What legacy do I want? So I don't have to, if you tell her, I can't call the minister, who says you go break the foot. If you're a thief, we go put you in jail. It's a new way of looking at the world. So you're saying to me, what do I see? A bravery, a clarity, etc. But that's what I'm asking. Forget him. how do we support her in terms of trying to transform the world that she is?
Which one in the revolution that struck you the most that she has done?
The monopoly, breaking the monopoly, because I see it as heart at the
Good,
core
good. Yes,
of
you're
dealing
right.
with the elites. At
You're
the
right.
core, and it calls for critical thinking, and it calls for courage, tremendous courage. Because we talk about the age-old axis of small, concentrated power, which grew. The World Bank call it state capture, right? Because it happens in other countries.
It happens in South Africa.
Yes. Right. They call it state, and
Yes.
that is what happened under the last 10 years, in particular under the Rowley administration. You know, my late lamented media colleague from TNT, Keith Shepard, many years ago called Dr. Rowley the Black Syrian, and I don't want to bring ethnicity into it, but he was talking about Dr. Rowley's affinity to certain black business,
the Syrian business.
Yeah. And that, to me, and every other thing, I'm happy with all the other measures she has taken, the measures she's taken with respect to children, reforming hospital, dealing with the NIPDEC importation of drugs, all of that. But you see, dealing with that and monopolies generally, pharmaceutical, because the pharmaceutical monopoly deals with poor people, single mothers, the infirm, and so on. And that is the single.
In terms of a revolutionary.
And I recognize this. And what moved me, it literally moved me. And it was from when she was in opposition, of course. It is her, you see, right here we're talking about ideas. We're talking about ideologies and programs. All of that's important, but the foundation is love. And she loves this country. She loves the people. She and I remember she gave a speech. What it was the budget speech in 2019. And she was talking about, because I had not joined the party at that time. It made me join the party.
Yes.
And she was talking about how she was selling rice and selling bhaji in the market and talking about building an economy. She was proud of her history. She wasn't ashamed of it and trying to become American or something. And she wanted to build on this. And she had this of ordinary people, and you see it at our public meetings. Like, she would always, every week we go out in some place, and you just see the love between the people and her, and all the policy that we are talking about, all the abstraction is based on this fundamental love of ordinary people, and that is what
I would say. What I like with her is the recent stance, Ken, on this noise pollution.
Yes.
This Brian Lara Stadium, Hasty Crawford, and so on, and have firm stance on it. Because a lot of these people who making noise is a small group.
That's right.
A small group making millions. And in some of these places, they won't even pay the fees.
But Jerome,
hold on. Everything was with her. And I like a firm stance to say, listen, that's it. Maybe, as Professor was saying, sometimes the language has to be, but I don't believe so in every circumstance. Because sometimes you have to be rigid with things that have been going on for years to break it in this place. It has to have a kind of little dictatorial language inside as you relate to the public. It may not come across as palatable as you would like it to be. And even if it does comes across palatable, you're still going to have the same criticism.
That's right.
But I like a firm stance to see, choose an alternative venue, go and have your fair.
Because I'm going to tell you something religious
I'll
here.
tell you
right?
too, Mehu, gentlemen, even in this town, there are fellas selling all these costume online, and that money don't come back in.
That's right.
That going outside of Trinidad is in US dollars. You see, they ain't telling you all that.
See, that's why
And the state puts out millions. millions
you see why I was,
in this carnival, right?
Why I was smiling?
But that thing going to
What I
the
was
same
smiling,
a small
when
group of
I-
people,
why
and
I
she
was
said,
smiling.
"Hold on, just now, Kojo, hold on, you're getting." And she says publicly, "I'm gonna cut that." Right? And she has the support of a good minister. I might be a little biased, but a good minister culture who's
I wonder what
doing a
makes
good
you
job.
a little biased. No,
A good job to bring that to heel.
Absolutely.
Eventually, so that there's a level, a little more fairness.
Yeah.
In that
Because and what I was just going to say quickly is
that's what I like with that.
One of the aspects of Hinduism and in the depiction of the Hindu deities, right? Every deity has a weapon, as well, because in order for truth and love and goodness and righteousness to prevail, you have to be able to fight for it. Because if you don't have bravery and courage, evil is going to win. You cannot be unwilling to fight for what is right, to fight for the people, and expect goodness to reign.
Right.
And this is what she's doing.
And you know, Mehu,
yeah.
To add to that, Professor coming. That's a point that Dr. King made, that time is neutral. He said the only people who use time the best is people of ill will, not people of goodwill. So it's neutral. Right. So that the notion that somehow you have all this time in the world for this to happen, she's saying, look, this place is a mess.
That's right.
For so long, we have to cut this, we have to cut that, etc., etc. And I like the firm militant stand on it.
Yeah.
That is the only way she will protect the people.
That's the only way.
And in a practical sense, I just want to discuss the practicality of this. Noise pollution is tied into a number of ailments, including mental health. As I won't say
Ken, you lost a baby this year.
You understand?
A baby.
So time with the fat noise, the fireworks issue. Yes. A society has to manage its affairs, and the EMA has not been effective. They have the Explosive Act and so on. And I also want to say this matter with respect to the explosives, she's bringing it to the Senate tomorrow. Right? To amend the Summary Offences Act. And I want to tell you how the Summary Offences Act came about. It is not many people remember. In just after the 1970 uprising, Dr. Williams, Attorney General Carl Hudson Phillips, attempted to bring in a law called the Public Order Act that meant that Jerome couldn't walk down the street and meet three fellas and talk. That was a gathering. You couldn't stand on a mic and talk to five people. You'd be arrested. The country rose up against that, the Public Order Act.
That's why A.N.R. Robinson left.
Right. A.N.R. Robinson left. Carl threatened to quit the cabinet and so on. And he withdrew, the Prime Minister withdrew the Public Order Act. And you know what he did? He introduced the Summary Offences Act. And he brought all the offences into piecemeal. And they didn't require a special majority in Parliament. That's the history of the Summary Offences Act. Now the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, is using the Summary Offences Act for good, for better governance, to deal with noise pollution, and to deal with these other...
To protect the people instead of oppress the people. But we must remember
the history of the Summary Offences Act and how the PNM, the history of it from 1970 after the McCandle-Dagger-led Black Power uprising. We must remember where it came from. And all of these are progressive measures. When you look at... I read about all the impact of noise pollution, and it is very far-reaching, right? It is... We've had animals die. We have and it's associated with a whole range of medical issues.
Quality of life issues.
Yes. That the society hasn't dealt with. That society has not dealt with over the years. And these are primary governance issues. You know.
And this is the amazing thing. These are fundamental issues that people said, you can't change that in Trinidad. You can't, and she is changing almost all of it. You can't change the corruption. You can't change the gang culture. You can't change the crime. You can't change the noise. You can't change the fed culture. And she's saying, watch me.
But the fellas who are saying we must have the Fed Brian Lara Academy, I asked them, where Did you hold the feds before Brian Lara Academy opened? Listen, there are many Fed venues. Jerome will probably predate you in Port of Spain. That PSA grounds in St. James and other places that were kind of neutral in terms of residential communities. All of a sudden, these fellas talking about how much money they're losing and so on. All this fear that they generate, and we don't have media
and it's only
investigation
about
in the
10
country.
people. It have 500 feds for the carnival.
Yes.
About 500 feds. So, and trust me, carnival will not die.
Never.
As a result that you don't have
it may die with lack of originality.
Not in Trinidad, Professor. Not when we like a jumper. You wanted to make a point on that. I want to go to a major effort the government undertook just a couple of weeks ago, the revitalization blueprint, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there, Ken.
Well,
it was a big time invitation.
Not at all. I viewed it on television.
So the Minister Jolene John and her team, along with the Prime Minister, of course, laid out this massive blueprint. And we saw this 3D rendering of what Port of Spain is going to look like, Central is going to look like, San Fernando is going to look like, and other parts of the country as well, right? So the whole idea is to have this development of interconnected buildings and to bring in developers and to have people come, like in the marinas, to use it, yachties, etc., right? Subsequent to the rolling out of it at the Diplomatic Center, Minister John and a team went to the Middle East, and they came back reporting that the outlook is very good. In fact, I think one of the key things about the blueprint was that my understanding of it, it was the first time you had the rollout of a big project, and on the same day you could have put in the RFPs. At the same day, it was done at the DIP Center, and that is going on until January, when everything is going to be open up, and then we will know who's doing A, B, C, D, or E. How do you see that in the vision of taking the country forward? I know Professor always says there's difference between development and growth and so forth. So, Dr. Mayo, when you look at that plan,
this is definitely
part of it is to create jobs as well, and to get the place moving too.
And because what this is, it's a reimagining of Trinidad and Tobago. Right? It's not just saying, oh well, let's just go on with things as they have been and tweak here and there, because by making us a global logistical hub, you have to remember that's the rubric under which it's organizing, a global logistics hub. That means the vision is that we are going to be a central part of the global economy. We're not just going to be a little backwater and doing something by ourselves. We are going to be plugged in. So Mayaro and the oil industry, the ports, the marinas, all these things, it's part of that we are going to be now more connected to the world. We are going to be a world-class society, like how Singapore moved from slums and backwaters to become a major node in the global economy. So the vision is for us to be a node in the global economy. And that means we have to upgrade everything. Right? We have to upgrade everything so that we can be worthy participants in the most advanced sectors of the global economy. And so it's not grass cutting. It's not just doing things that have no purpose or vision. It is putting us on a whole new plane of development, and it's going to turn us from what is our budget now? About 60 billion. We will become $1 trillion economies, which is what we should be. That's where we should be moving. It's expanding. And
the PM yesterday also announced that soon, because I think Guyana is doing this medical building hospitals that we be sending people across. They can go across and work and all that. So, Professor, you are man. You mentioned before that you lived abroad for a long time, so you are accustomed with tall buildings. So you always you don't have to be looking up in the sky.
I think.
What do you think about?
I think that the point that Kurt made about a global hub and so on. I think we have to be very careful. I mean, part of the problem, one has also to be critical. You have 129 projects to be done over a very short period. You need much more planning to get that done. You can't bite off more than you can chew. And I think that's an important consideration. The other consideration, you go around Trinidad and Tobago and you see the roads and you see the potholes. In other words, this has become a disalienated factor in what's been going. So while I think the perspective is right, I think scale is also very important. And I'm saying, I go back again, you can't invent another 1.4 million people.
But Professor, it don't really work so in the real world. California has one of the, homelessness across California. Yeah. But that don't stop the White House from building a ballroom.
Okay, all right, but that was just my point. Let Trump build his ballroom.
No, I'm just saying.
It's the worst example. It's the worst.
Okay, but it doesn't stop the US itself.
It doesn't stop Silicon Valley.
Even though Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Silicon Valley
from doing what they have to
would
do
exist because you have a certain group of people and you have a tradition and people buy into that tradition. It's much easier.
Yeah.
All right.
The loop.
Let me provide, if I could, a measured response to all of this.
So we're not giving measured responses.
Let me give a measured response.
But I don't agree with Professor that you have to stop here because the roads are bad to do this.
Yeah. No. But in fact, I think to take what he's saying into account is that part of the upgrading, as I said, we have to be a society worthy of that. So
okay, folks, we are back with you. It's in the village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington. You guys want to continue listening?
No audio.
Yeah, there's audio now.
You
guys want to huh?
Yeah, I do have a problem. We can listen to them until 9 o'clock. Them songing bright, them songing good.
All right, let's continue listening.
Caribbean soul can't take them.
You can't create those 50,000 jobs. Even them road we have now. I mean, that just.
Well, we have plenty of road to pave,
So have that kind of grand scale employment.
I still want to give you measured response.
Yes, go ahead. Give me your measured response. Go ahead.
Thank you. You know, I like what Kirk said about reimagining. Yeah. Now, when the revitalization plan was announced, Brian Manning said that was his father's vision. The only problem with that is that his father never implemented any. His father was at the center of what they call Vision 2020. And instead of developed nation status, instead we got dangerously close to a failed state. Now they have Vision 2030. Again, they weren't able to develop. A society must think big, must have ideas, but a society must be cautious in terms of what it does. And it is never that you could only put up a big building and create other development when you fix all the roads. I remember years ago as a young journalist, the same PNM government was building the National Library in Port-of-Spain, and there was a national debate over that. Why must build this library and so on when you have potholes? And the counter argument was, you will never have everybody up to speed, but a country must look at fresh frontiers. And I think this represents that. But I'm almost through. Every project is not going to come into fruition in quick time. They clearly, and I read it, I studied the revitalization plan, and there are several, and they're all tied in to development and job creation, utilization of local talent and local products.
Remember, this was part two. This is the private sector part of the 20,000 jobs. Remember that whole drive, because the PNM left the state sector unmanned, unstaffed, with acting appointments, and so after the 20,000 jobs application in the public sector, this was the part two of it, and so the Prime Minister she always has her ear to the ground, that this is not only about the fancy buildings of Vision 2020, it's about the jobs,
Not only that,
sustainable jobs for everybody. That's why we're doing it.
Ojo is the big man at UTT. You have thousands of people there graduating with degree in this, degree in that, whatever. You have to find some way for them, because you have a lot of people out there with all these degrees and certificates, whatever have you.
And they're sitting at home and not doing anything.
You need somewhere to put them for good
quality
jobs.
My brother, I'm not saying either or. I'm saying together with.
But you're not saying that.
I mean, I'm not saying that.
But go ahead. You're not saying that.
I don't know saying. I mean, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, because you say to fix the potholes.
No, I'm not saying that.
You're saying do not forget.
I am not
saying that, Jerry.
Yeah. But I say that.
Well, so then we have no discussion.
What I'm saying is that
I think what he was saying. I think what he was saying is, let us not forget that. Let us not forget that development is about people.
And no, what I'm suggesting is, development is about people.
Correct.
Unless you have people behind you and supporting what you're doing, it shall fail. Because at the end of the day, you can have 129 people. We can't import no set of people. It's our own people we have to deal with. All right? You have a sense of disalienation or alienation from, because at the end of the day, you're dealing with ordinary people who see things in their own ways.
That's right. But I also want to add something. When we become a vibrant, dynamic society, we will be instead of being a net exporter of people, people will be coming. But I understand your point.
I don't get the point thoroughly.
Okay.
These same buildings that Patrick Manning built, Tower C, and Tower D, and Government Campus, who inside that?
That's it.
The same people you saying ain't benefiting from that. They're working inside there.
Yes.
So but I'm saying, you talking about, Professor, the initialization of these projects,
I'm not talking
where the people may not buy in. A lot of people didn't buy into Hyatt and all that. But now it is
my argument is, in spite of the oversubscribe, what is the people in terms of their everyday lives and the murders and the horses and we're seeing? At the end of the day, yes, no one is saying don't build it, and people must use it because it's there. That's why I said it's neither either or together, but together with. Both. And I'm making a much other point which you may disagree with. In the end of the day, if you don't have people buying into those projects and those programs, is not likely to do what it's supposed to, because at the end of the day, you do it with people. Your job, it'll come. They steal they come and work for 2 hours and 3 hours and go home.
You know what? I want to take a short break, gentlemen. Just hold your thoughts. Ken, hold your thoughts. Right? No, you won't forget the thought. Folks, we're taking a break. This is the Talk Back Live podcast. We're taking a break and we're coming back, and then we'll wrap up. See you.
So, folks, there you have it.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess just some interesting points being made. Yeah. But let me make some comments on what people are saying. This panel must come back next 5 years, right? Semantic 62 saying, I can't take too much of Kirk. You know, first I have to get past his accent, then break down what he's saying. Okay. Rajendra says, man Rowley said he didn't fix potholes on road because they were busy saving lives during the COVID pandemic. yet over 5,000 people died. Terrian Eligon, where you joining us from? Cecil Hussain says they want to be the first world country with third and fourth world roads.
Shaking my head.
Julie Ali said, well, shit, enough of that topic, of their topic. Virginia says the only vision came with the PNM and it's written 1976 Republican system of governance is work to make the rich more rich. That is what's going on. Tax the poor to make the rich more rich. Candy the dog says, where is the soft skill chair competition? The sports old folks respect. Ken, you're Brian Valley. Mr. Intellectual say we don't have the facilities to accommodate that economy. Monica says, I wonder if Three Musketeers listening. Judy Ali said, no, they are boring. Mr. Intellectual Kirk, we're almost there. The PNM spent over $500 billion and nothing to show for it. What we do have to offer to make $1 trillion of dollars a year. I noticed some of Caribbean Soul boy. Caribbean Soul critical boy. Let me see what Caribbean Soul is saying there. George Ramdeen said, could we see the PNM thinking under Penny with that kind of vision? Volsang say, oh Lord, here we go again. I wonder what Volsang talking about, right? So I saw this quote by Gordon Dryden Joseph. That table missing one person. Gordon Dryden, who you talking about, Gordon Dryden? You know, because we just can't understand what you're saying. Candida Doggy says, be careful, bro, don't throw pearls before swine. People strive on keeping others ignorant. Roland Henry say, if a man owes you money and he tells you he'll give you half in cash and the other half in a 100-year lease land, which is better deal? All cash and land? Okay. So what are you trying to say, Roland? What are you trying to say? Monica said these people saying what we already know. Paul Degal says a Guyanese with an American accent is really some weird. Okay. Tommy, you already addressed who was first then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it Susan?
Caribbean Soul thought is, I alone can't take on his freshwater accent. Candida Doggy says, did you hear of Project Polaris? Google it. Here it is. Put on his freshwater accent has make me sick. Ice Caribbean Soul boy. Right. Oh, let me go back to finish up. We'll finish at the top of the hour, folks.
Gone and will turn this country around. Another one, alongside the creation of industries, even copying the medicinal industry of India or the film industry of Nigeria, we need to, as soon as possible, bring new examinable courses in schools, such as hybrid technology. Excellent contribution, Professor Kojo, in reference to the re-education and the repositioning of the country. Neo-colonialism should not even be mentioned. It's a crucial time in our country's history. Change is absolutely necessary in these uncertain times. These are just some of the comments coming from our viewers online. Many more, too many to read at this time. But Professor, I'm coming back to you on this whole idea of social development and people.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? You're saying it should not be just about money, but it has to
capital,
be about the
land,
people.
labor, that's development, and we know that. I think our big point, and we've had monies flow through this country like Epsom salts. We're not better off for it necessarily in all ways.
That's right.
So I'm saying go ahead with our project and make it a dot and so on. But remember, you're talking about, unless people are there to act in certain kinds of ways, you're gonna have more killing, not because you have more housing, you got more things. So I'm saying at one level, you gotta talk about that. But also the social and cultural development of people is a necessary component of any transformation. I'm saying again, even in terms of the 129 projects we have, for example, when, for example, the Louvre spent billions of dollars to expand the Louvre and people were a whole line looking just to see Mona Lisa, it's because they've had a tradition and they're building on a tradition. The same thing is true. You go to Egypt, you go to the Valley of Kings, you go to the Egypt Museum. People, they're building on what they've got. So in terms of just development, one moves from the known to the unknown. In other words, for example, you have to build on what you have even as you become new. It's a dialectical process. And all I'm warning against is saying, yes, all of those things are important. I'm not suggesting that alone. But I'm saying one, and that's where the Pinner made its mistake. You forget the people who put you inside there. Because there are a lot of people who have all kinds of ideas. 2, we have to change minds. 3, in terms of our cultural development. For example, I would say at my school, which I'm saying, we're trying to right now say, listen, no one should go to UTT without having a course on the history and culture of Trinidad and Tobago. No one should go to UTT without knowing what the Ramlilas are, etc., etc. How? And I said to you just now, we are the only indigenous forms of democracy in this country is the panchayat and the community councils. That's it. That's the basis of a democracy. How do we build on those things from people what they know to the unknown? So I'm saying that this, and I have not seen the emphasis, if I may say so, of education in all this transformative process.
Could I pick up on that?
Please do.
We're heading into a cultural season. Christmas has its own culture in terms of people's performance, the performing arts, and so on. And then we get into the big carnival. And we have not yet seen the government express itself in respect of the culture. And I'm convinced that we're going to see a participate. And in addition to that, you talk about things like Ram Leela and so on. No, let me finish, please, Professor. In a previous incarnation of state media, it covered all the national expressions. The PNM concentrated back into urban culture. So there has
you got to think on urban culture, that's your baby. I'm simply suggesting, I'm not talking about acts of culture. The Cambole, the Carnival, the who are acts. I'm saying, what is the basis behind that? How do you develop from what you got? I'm simply saying that you must have a system that begins to put emphasis on that also as you develop. That's what I'm saying.
And you see, all of that from you, Professor, stems from your beef, as a manner of speaking, on the 129 projects. I'm
not
saying...
my beef. I don't want to see no, I'm going to stop you. I don't have a beef.
Yeah, I think from what he was saying, he was more looking at Patrick Manning's Vision 2020, build big buildings in the 2000s. And that same period, we had the highest murder rate in the world. So we forgot. So he just, I think what he's saying is that with this development, we must always make sure we bring the people with us, because you can't have development that is anti-people and development
to make this simple,
Jerome,
because
I think that the government is wrong.
And I'm saying that there are areas in which we're going to see that. One is the projects will create sustainable quality jobs.
That's right.
That is one. And in a real sense, people would have sustainable quality jobs.
And the education that is required for it, which will happen.
A new impetus in respect to tertiary education and so on. And I'm also saying, I'm going to go back to this, that we're going into we have not seen the government through its various agencies express itself in matters of culture. And that too we may see a remake, meaningful participation.
You talk about Christmas, and I just want to say this, that we are such a remarkably creative people. There is no, besides the United States, that's our only rival. We have our own Christmas food, our own Christmas music. Not only one type of Christmas music, or 3 or 4 types of genre.
Per capita, we are the most creative in the world.
That's right. It's an amazing complex of traditions that we have, not only for Christmas.
I'm seeing those.
That's right.
Because there's going to be greater equity in state funding,
that's
for
right.
example. All of those are meaningful signposts.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to
we need to draw on that tremendous creative, because you have
FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area, broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
The other little festivals we have throughout the year. Every month there's some kind of festival somewhere.
Yeah.
And these are the types of things that we must be building on to bring our people from the known to the unknown.
But I kind of believe that we're talking about two different things. If I pick up what Professor is talking about, he's saying that these are festivals, Christmas, Ramlila, Diwali, etc. But he's talking about something else in terms of building human capacity.
But what I'm talking about is that those are expressions of creativity.
That's the point.
We are an incredibly creative people, right? And we must tap into our creativity, facilitate it. We are an ingenious people, and it's because of when the professor was talking about the prime minister speaking about not only her Hindu upbringing, but a spiritual Baptist upbringing and a Presbyterian upbringing, because that's how it is in Siparia down there where she is. That's how the people live. We are always intermingling with each other, and by this, it's like a chemistry. By bringing all these things together, we create new forms. Always
is building human capital.
Yeah. Professor, is that the point you're making?
I know. I must profoundly disagree.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. There are acts of culture.
Right.
You talk about the Ramlelas and so on.
Yes.
And in our world, we are outdoor festivals.
That's
you
right.
Go to London, it's indoor. We clap and so on.
That's right.
We are indoor. I made that point very clear in my books. What I'm suggesting is, and let's open the minds up. I'm simply saying, since I'm going to repeat it, we can't bring in, we have all of those things that you say. It has to be directed. It has to be organized. And I'm simply suggesting that if we're talking about development, you're going to ask any child in this country about history, even adults, they begin with Eric Williams. Although history begins with Eric
That's right. That's right. We have centuries before.
And we know nothing of that.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to build if you don't know where you come? If I said a kid, where's your background? Where's your mother? Where you come from? Unless you know yourself.
That's right.
I'm not talking about acts and the government getting.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be purposeful. It has to be say, listen, this is what, and we have the example. We had billions of dollars passed through this country.
That's right.
We have more cars. We have more potholes. But what's the quality and the nature of our output of our human people?
Right.
And if you're going to develop, you have to have that. It's not just a distinction between skills, which is medical and legal, and education. How does one act purposefully in one social development, in one society? How do we come? So we have all of those things. How do we put it together? In 1985, I put that on to you, we don't have a national cultural policy in this country. I wrote about that about 30 years ago. Do we have a national cultural policy and where we're going and what we want to do? No. Everybody pointing, the Korea mentioned, give me money, give me money, give me money. The money is the point that you make, which was so very essential. Even all the talent we have. Tribe have about how much people coming? 35,000 people? Not 1 cent comes here. It goes to St. Lucia because all the thing is online. We put out all kinds of money for infrastructure. When you bring out the police and you bring out the ambulance, we are pouring monies out and nothing comes back. That's what I'm talking about. Not say, yes, we have all that. How do we organize it in a way that it promotes and propels that what we're doing in terms of that policy which we're bringing forward? And to just say, look at one side, that's good. I mean, it sounds very patriotic, but we have to look at our limitations of what we must develop to organize what a very visionary prime minister is doing. We start by disruption, what we're doing to make it, and the move that should make it, noise pollution. And I could go through all of the things which are good for the society. That's some selfish people saying they're going to tell how much money they trivialize the money, they don't get enough money and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to say, and I will emphasize it wherever I am, that yes, development is a two-sided kind of story. There's growth, a lot of buildings, but development entails the inner development of people, even population. What about population? Where it's going now? What's the nature of the population? And how does you have development, financial, etc.? What about population development? What does that do with your own development? They do nothing. So you gotta talk, but you just can't. I'm just simply saying part of our function, my function, is to try to be critical, as I'm totally supportive, to say, maybe we should look at some of these things. If we just stop and praise, it sounds good. But we've got to say, maybe there are other things we should look at. And I'm going to give you another one, Mr. Ali and Mr. Jerome. Please. I walk on Target Savannah to say it stinks. I went for my walk this morning. It stinks. It smells. Because of Savannah was the pride and joy. It's just going down. A man said, Coach, this morning, when I got a 4:15. What are you doing about this, boy? And that's important too. It's only grass. It's only garbage.
What he doing about it?
What who?
The man who asked you that question.
It doesn't what he's
doing. No, what he asking you. You see, that's the problem too in the country.
Yeah. No.
He asking Kojo about it. Has he gone to the corporation and say the grass too high?
That's part of it.
Did he write a letter? No, they don't do that. But he wants to ask you that. You should ask him.
No,
what
I would not
have you done?
Because that's not the.
So why are you asking?
That was not.
He knows
he knows that I've been a community leader for years. That's why he asked me.
Yeah.
That's why you asked me.
But could you be careful about the chatter too?
Not the
who just asking a million questions and they themselves.
What I'm saying,
not engaging.
Go ahead.
Stemming
from what Professor Kuchma said, just one aspect of it.
Sorry.
I thought in 2010 when the Prime Minister set up a Ministry of Multiculturalism, I was extremely hard. And
I critiqued it.
I'm sorry?
I did a long critique of him.
I reached out to the then minister and I said I had some thoughts on it because spending some time spending some time in Canada where they have a policy which works to an extent, nothing works perfectly. And so when you're drafting your policy, I may have some input. But I think he felt then, and I think a number of ministers of culture feel the Ministry of Culture just dispensed. He never set up a policy, and well, I don't want to call names. And I think, and I'm saying all of that to say that I agree with your point about setting up a national cultural policy. And I don't know if we say...
And they had one,
No, I'm not saying... I don't know if we're saying the same thing, so let me express my thought.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's a very diverse society.
Very what?
A diverse society.
Yeah, that's true.
One element of this, not all, pertains to equitable funding of activity. Just what?
That's what
when Walcott went and received his Nobel Literature Prize, he spoke about Ram Leela, and a large section of the society have no appreciation of Ram Leela, as indeed many don't have appreciation of many other aspects.
Yeah.
This is one way in which we begin the long march after so many years of independence and living together to harmonize our people, bring us under the...
Let me say one thing on that. The Canadian example is a long critique of multiculturalism. What John Campbell's book in 1867, we were the most diverse society in the world. We don't have to look at Canada.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, we've all of the language was spoken. Get it, look at it.
Absolutely.
So it's not new to us. So what I'm suggesting is that perhaps a deeper knowledge of where we come from. I could cuss and cut you, and we come back and talk and drink tomorrow. You go back to the other thing, or we don't live on the politics. What I'm simply suggesting is that we've got to be careful in all of our enthusiasm. We don't repeat what
Professor, I just want to make one more point. I
Go
don't
make a point. Sorry.
No. I don't think the points are mutually exclusive.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
What we are saying about development and buildings and so on doesn't negate this, and this doesn't negate that either.
Yeah.
So that, in my respectful view, they're two different points.
It's never,
and there's nobody will disagree. We have so much.
And that's why I said
cuisine.
That's what I
how we
said.
party.
I'm not saying either or, but together.
Right. You're absolutely right.
That's my thing.
You're absolutely right.
Either.
Yeah.
Look at the way we live. Look at all the streams of culture. Look at the diversity that enriches the society. But from a state level, not enough has been done. And one aspect is the warp. One aspect of the flawed system is the warp funding, in which some areas get huge sums and others who are equally creative or more creative do not get funding.
And the Prime Minister is disrupting that as well. And people. And this is your point. And people are complaining because when you disrupt the system, the people who benefited before.
And that is what I was saying to Professor just now. Let's wait. We're heading into a season and we'll see some expression. I'm not saying it's going to be reformed. I thought the Ministry of Multiculturalism give it a moniker, a name, and that through which a policy could have been developed. But even with Ministry of Culture, that could be developed and it represents all aspects. As best we can.
I'm saying it takes knowledge.
Yeah.
One of the most important books written in Trinidad and Tobago was Ken Ramchand's book on the West Indian novelist background. But what Ken said, our history began in 80 with Tom Redcamp's book in terms of the Jamaica cleanup. That's not the end of the story. I did a whole book in the 19th century. I could tell you there are autobiographies by Amerindians in the 19th century. We don't know. I'm simply saying you're liberated by knowledge and understanding. Bible says, get ye wisdom, but in getting your wisdom, get ye understanding. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Professor, let me just ask you this. I mean, we are speaking broadly about all this, but, how do we get that to work? In the physical space, all these things we're talking about.
No, you got
to education. Is it what in a curriculum?
That's where you start. That's where you start. I was at Harvard in 1978. We did something called the core curriculum. And what we said, when somebody comes out of American university and you're handing his bachelor, what is some person reasonably expected to know? When he joins the rank of educated people in the society, what is he reasonable expected to know? And then you put it in a curriculum.
But Professor, let me take Jerome job for a little while. What is the role of UTT in all of this?
I cannot sit here and criticize my university. I think, in fact, that they are...
I didn't ask you to criticize. I'll ask the question. Well, what is the role of UTT in all of this?
Yes, we have to. In all fairness, I think Ken Julian did a marvelous job in certain kinds of ways. It began in technology and engineering. The words have changed. If you look at UTT curriculum, it says we're an entrepreneurial university. And I'm saying, are you the National University of Trinidad and Tobago? In other words, we have to change with time. And UTT, the degree I have in it, will try to change. The Prime Minister, when she was up in the Savannah, says that we must have that in our curriculum. She says that. So we, as the educators, have to put it in the curriculum. But remember the word called resistance.
Good.
There's some people who are so concerned and keeping things the way they were. Exactly. They're not as fast as she is and as fast seeing. So yes, we have to change the curriculum in the sense that, no, they do a very good job in certain ways, giving people jobs, working in the economies, and so on and so forth. Be it the aircraft industry, be it in certain point leases. We have great things going, but it's always one day at a time, step by step. Nothing happens overnight. And how you do it is you start, first of all, she says, in your schools, begin in your primary schools, begin education schools. And we begin to put those things into school. You formulate it into policy.
I think there's a cautious answer, but we'll take that because I know you're going to go to work tomorrow. I just want to read two messages we have here. It's Hamza Khan. He says, maybe we can have an annual International Caribbean Food Festival of Food and Music. Mr. Krishna Bihari said, could any member of the panel tell us what benefits returning residents have available to them?
I'm sure that there are any particular benefits. I think that, like, you could bring your vehicles, or so they have things like that. But certainly, I mean, this idea of residents returning, the prime minister definitely had this on her radar when she put in the legislation about grandchildren coming. And again, there were people. There were people opposed to that.
Yes,
That grandchildren, that the grandchildren of Trinidadian citizens should get citizenship and come back. But what it is, and what it is a recognition of, is the tremendous talent we have, the tremendous experience that we need to draw on.
Kevin Gill says, interesting group with varying opinions. Communication is vital. Enjoying the arguments are relevant, I believe he wants to say. Bottom line is being a good change agent by our leaders.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
So there you have it. I think we're just about to wrap up.
Yeah.
What's you guys take?
They touch on some interesting topics, which needs to be explored. Most of them needs to be explored a little further.
COP.
I like Ken Ali, the points he bring. Professor Selwyn Kojo he's a star boy in his vocabulary. He words. He's one just like you, Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
Those knowledgeable black men from Trinidad and Tobago. Those bright guys and them that know how to educate and inform. I really do appreciate. I would like to stand up next to him. I would like to shake his hand. Professor Selwyn Kojo, take 10 out of 10, brother. I could hear the honesty coming from him. I could feel the passion coming from him. Take 10 out of 10, brother. Let me say good night to all those village family. Some of all your vex, some of all your quarreling. But these kind of interview and them, we really must hear Selwyn Kojo and Ken Ali and those four brothers them over there. The future of this country need to hear the knowledge. They need to know. They need to listen to these guys and them. So I'll just vex for now, but after all, you could go back and message back everybody and say, all right, they're gone. Uncle Toby, Professor Wall Street, and Mr. COP over here now. And all you come back. But these four guys was great, Professor Wall Street. Trinidad and Tobago, they were great. When you look at I listen to Ken Ali and I like where he going with it, because I think I mentioned these things for years. I mentioned about the drugs coming in over here and who benefiting and somebody benefiting. And people keep a blind eye for years. And the media, I ask myself if the fourth estate in that category are benefiting and achieving from that wrongdoers, because them never really condemn the drug trade. All them condemn is a little black boy that get locked up with some cocaine in Port of Spain. Them never really condemn the big boys and them, the fourth estate. And I'm glad how them fellas them bringing it out. I like how Ken Ali speak to not Ken Ali, Professor Kojo, about CPEP. You can't just have thousands of people, 10,000 people just cutting grass right through. You give them a permanent work. If they had a permanent work, I don't mind. They might just be the best grass cutters in Trinidad and Tobago. But with a permanent worker, you can't give them 3 months contract. And not even them getting the 3 months contract. It's the contractor getting a 3 months contract. And them could fire that worker anytime they want to. I like how they speak about them thing. PNM should have given the CPEP workers, the URP workers, the forestry workers permanent jobs so that nobody would not be able to send them over. Look, this is the star. This is the star. All the villagers, family. Professor Walsh just don't show that yet. All you tell all the listeners and them. Cuba Children Hospital open up. So all of them who leave just now, message them back and tell them come back on WZYE. Come back live.
You want to come back, COP?
Yes, come back. Some of them get vexed just now and gone. Caribbean Soul chief them up.
Yeah, but someone has to be made to account for that money that was lost with the equipment.
Yes, sir. And Terence Yeltsin, why Terence? How come Terence Yeltsin answer back that? How come Terence Yeltsin, the past pharmacist who Keith Rowley make health minister, how come he yet speak about that? Because them know what them do. How could you leave $100 million in equipment to rust? And how you could do that? And them benefit more than $100 million. You know? If we were to research and see who was controlling all the ambulance and them, who was bringing in all the ambulance and them, and how much money taxpayers was paying a month for ambulance. I wonder if Terence Yeltsin could tell we all them things.
You know, but it's interesting, eh? Think about this, right? The evil, wicked, heinous, dastardly, vindictive PNM left the Cuba Children Hospital and as the Prime Minister said, to rot. And in a space of 6 months, right, there was a rededication by the current government. Why is that, boy? Why the mindset of, you know, it's interesting, eh? I told you all about the book about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, right? I believe, it's what I believe. I did no study on it, but you know, when you have people like Gordon Dryden Joseph and Patricia Reed, where I get that from? Patricia Reed, and the pastor with the internet search engine, the PSA hater, right? Daily cry baby voice, right? These people, it is just interesting. Right, my phone ringing. All right, we go take that after. It's just interesting, right? That, you know, they see these things, and these things wasn't for the government. This was for kids of Trinidad and Tobago. This was for children. And our society is about the children. What are Proverbs say? Proverbs, whatever it is, raise a child, and when he's young, he will not depart from it. Something to that effect. Tommy, you know that one?
Yes.
I didn't born yet. Uncle Tommy, you know that.
Yeah.
That's from the Bible.
Yeah, that's a proverb. Right? And you would think that they will whisper to their political leader back then, boss, there is something we have to do, you know. But them have no uses for that. Right? Folks.
You know why them was allowed to do that, Professor Wall Street? You know why them was allowed to do that? Because them had support. I'm not blaming the PNM 100% for not finishing that hospital. You see the supporters and them that give them that support and give them that power to do that. Take the call.
COP, I wasn't hearing you, you know. Caller, welcome.
Technical,
We lost that one. Here we go. Jenny C. Paul sent it for me. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That is what it is. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah? You see how the village family is?
Quick. Yeah? But the unfortunate thing is that there are certain people, right, that they couldn't train them up. Yeah? And when they get older, they also depart from it.
Professor Walsh, the PNM couldn't neglect that hospital without the support of the African community in Trinidad and Tobago. The African community support the PNM in keeping that building closed. That is why the PNM had that power and the authority not to fix it, finish it. Why would they want that? Why they don't want that? Since the closure, that I keep asking why they don't want a children's hospital in Trinidad and Tobago. Medical tourism.
Let me take this call. Caller, welcome. Caller, welcome.
Yeah. Good night, my brother.
Good night.
It's Roland Henry.
How are you doing, Roland?
Just trying to explain what I wrote. I'm saying if a man owe you money, he said, I'll give you half in money and half in land. Which is the better deal? It's time African
half in money and half in land.
Yeah, 100-year lease of land.
Half in money, half in land.
And 100-year lease of government land that you could develop.
Roland,
it's time
Roland, I'm sorry to tell you. But you see, PNM people, them don't want nothing to do with generational wealth, you know. Them want instant gratification instead of delayed gratification. They have no uses for delayed gratification.
I take your point. Hear what I'm saying.
They want instant gratification.
Right. Hear what I'm saying. Ask the Minister of Labor, who was my checker when I worked with Vassar, that he must poll the PSA members and let them say just what you said. And you would be surprised that 90% of them, if you explain to them what could be done with the land, they would say land and money and not money alone. I want to bet you that, and I want you to open that program asking, let them poll them privately.
Thank you.
And see what they're going to say, because we're making judgments about African people for too long.
Roland,
and all is not true.
Roland, I'm sorry to tell you, boss. I'm sorry to tell you. Pan
Well, I'm
Trinbago.
from you from Laventille.
Yeah. All right. Listen off here, Roland. Roland, I'm sorry to tell you. Pan Trinbago give up land to get a building in Port of Spain. What other example you want?
An old building.
What other example you want? Pan Trinbago, which have hundreds of pan players, give up land to get a building. What did Malcolm X say? Land is the basis of everything. Them didn't learn that, Roland. Come on now, Roland. You make an excuse for them. Them PNM people don't want no land. You gave me land, you mad? Land? Boy, give me some cash, eh? I want cash now. I want instant gratification. I don't want no delayed gratification. Roland, put on that glass, eh? Roland, put on that glass.
And stop drinking that Balize juice and say this sorry.
A pleasant good night to you, Professor.
Southwestern, let me stop
Uncle
you.
Tommy.
Let me stop you. Whenever you call, just say good night to Uncle Tommy. Leave COP and I out of your thing. Go ahead. Say good night.
Hey, bring me in it, Southwestern.
All right. Say COP,
Professor Walsh, you the old with that. But say
good evening, Southwestern.
Okay. Good night, Professor. Good night, Professor Wall Street.
and COP. Uncle Tommy,
No.
Jesus love me and you.
You're going bad.
This is what I know.
You're going
but
bad.
Here what's going on.
You're going
No
bad.
worries.
You're going bad.
As long as Jesus love me, we will talk to Professor and we will be friends.
I agree.
But you see,
I agree.
Professor, I can just like them TNM and them. Because if they take land, right? The PNM leaders and them can tell them that the Indian have, and look the Indian have, and the Indian rob all here, and look what the Indian have. But you see, if the African empower themselves with land, right? And they become sustainable and start to build on land and know the value of it, the PNM will no longer be. It comes like a storm that passes through Trinidad in the early beginning in Cedros. And the others here, people say that was a storm and never ever again. But you see, when people is misled not to take things, just like the laptop, just like the healthcare, just like the free ride on the PTSD bus and the ferry to go to Tobago, they tell them that they're good, pay for it. But when the Mac bus, at the end of the day, poor thing, it's sad to see our African brothers and sisters just spinning right or wrong like they're going to baptize them. But Uncle Tommy, I'll talk to Professor tonight. But tomorrow night, I'll talk to you and you and Ethiopia talk. Right. Have a good
No
night.
worries. No worries, Southwestern.
I don't know why you bringing me in your back and all for. When you call you need to talk to Uncle Tommy. Uncle Tommy! Yeah? And Tommy don't even say, hey, Tommy never even say, and Professor Wall Street. He never said that. Yeah? Because Tommy like that.
I never noticed that. You know, I never noticed that.
He clearly says.
No, I never noticed that.
He clearly says.
Saying, Tommy?
He clearly says he doesn't want to talk to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he bringing me anything for? When he like, call, just say Uncle Tommy and bring COP in it. Leave me out there.
Well, he like,
Nah. What? Overnight?
Yeah. Love is a splendiferous thing.
Overnight. Well, let me go back to Roland. Roland, I vex it here because you're a Tobagonian and you should know better. PNM people don't want no land. Them don't want no land. What land them want? Eh? They bonds. What you want to do with that bond? They may know what's a bond. Oh, you know what? They might think it's when you're running on your bond. You know,
or something to eat.
Oh yeah, a bun you eat. Oh, a bun you eat. Yeah, correct is right. Correct is right. Let me take this call here. Joel, welcome. Joel, welcome.
Yes, I'm good night.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, man.
To tell you the honest truth,
yeah,
they might disagree with me. But I am one of the members who will benefit from that 10%, right?
Yeah.
With the PSA sign-off fund.
Right.
But my view is, give me my cash and let me decide what I'm doing with it. I could go and buy a piece of land with that same cash again, man.
Roland.
Or take out a mortgage, or something.
Joel, I'm sorry to tell you.
Yes, man.
Go ahead. Finish with your contribution.
You know, I not everybody does think the same, but somebody might take the same cash, invest in a property, invest in a piece of land, you know, and earn an income from it.
Okay.
It's not everybody who get the cash go say, all right, I get cash now and spend it out while. There are some people who go invest, take the cash and get returns on it.
Can I ask you a question,
making an
Joel?
investment.
Joel,
sure.
What you think most of them people gonna do? What you think most of them gonna do? What?
Play a mass.
Eh?
Some of them go play a mass.
No. No, I ask you that. I ain't say some. I ask you what most of them will do.
Most of them will spend it.
Oh, okay. All right. At least you're honest. You're honest.
But you have to understand, at the same time, you're saying that if was a period that they negotiate for, we were up to date. But you have to understand that the public servants was frustrated for almost 13 years now. There's none now they negotiating for 14 to 19 now. 2014 to 2019. Yes, it's 11 years on paper or whatever the case, but it's a long while. And you have to understand the frustration of the public servants who was waiting. The fight, but the wait, and there was the whole pressure for how long?
Joel, let's go on that premise. Let's go on your premise. How long they wait, right? So you're telling me you wait 10 or more years, right? And you are going to get a payout of $500 million, $500 million. And the rest you're going to get in bonds. After waiting 10 years, all of a sudden, in 8 months, 500 million on the table. And the rest in bonds, land, whatever it is. And you upset with that? No, you, eh? No, you, eh?
No,
Are
what
people
I am
upset with
saying
that?
is, what I am saying is, and I was suggesting, because colleagues of mine was talking about that today, and I was advising them, I say, if they want cash, no problem, but it could be reasonable. They could say, yeah, well, Mr. Minister, Mr. CPO, Mr. Minister, we want cash, but we understand that the resources and it have a cash curtailment right now. So here what we go take we back pay in tranches. You can pay we some within the next 3 months. And when is the media review, you go allocate money to pay we the balance or whatever the case may be. If you understand what I'm saying. Because really and truly, it's not that they want to give bonds or nothing, or they want to give land or nothing, The problem is that have a cash flow problem in the country. Not based on their fault, based on what they meet. So if I were the union leader, she's sticking to she guns that she want cash, okay, no problem. But here what payment in tranches. Payment some within the next 4 months or 2 months. And then when later down the road you go pay me when more money becomes available, you go just pay off the balance and give me the balance. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, man. Bless. I COP and Tommy, I sorry, eh? I sorry. I very sorry.
I believe the people and them should get a 10%. But that is in a good economy. That is when your country have money. When your country don't have no money, and we know that the PNM squander and break down we economy and how we skating today. We only want the prime minister to get money from. We only want the finance minister to get $3 billion now to pay out. But every month all again all the salary. Every fortnight all again all the salary. Just remember, according to Keith Rowley, no public servant they go home, you know. Nobody get fired, you know. Take the call.
Sorry about that. All of a sudden, I stopped hearing COP. Mr. Intellectual, welcome.
Last night.
Yeah, bless.
Pro, Uncle T, and COP, everybody on the chat.
Yeah.
The program was an interesting program. I like some of the ideas that they floated about.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit all over the place, but you know how the talkers go. Yeah. You can't stick to one thing. Concerning that back pay, them fellas and them at a Congress are blessed, right? Like everybody else, we waiting 11 years, and we ain't get nothing. We even get the opportunity to negotiate yet.
Not even salt they get. Not even salt. They didn't even get salt.
Huge waiting. huge waiting and they ain't getting nothing yet. You understand? So then for them are count themselves blessed. Now, the gentleman was saying that how we kind of broad brushing African people in the sense that they don't want land and this kind of thing. You draw the point that the Panchenbego people give up how much 8 acres of land?
Wherever it is, wherever they give up. Wherever they give up.
Yeah, for probably half a lot with a building on it.
With a building, yeah, for a building. A building.
Right.
Right. And
Think about the people
Mr. Intellectual, let me expand on that point here. Roland, what is the makeup of Panchenbego? Predominantly. Hold on, Mr. Intellectual. Tommy, who predominantly makes up Panchenbego?
Oh, there's no question.
No, but asking you, I don't remember. I haven't been to Trinidad in a long time. Who predominantly makes up?
African people.
Okay.
Predominantly people of African descent.
Tommy Fretans.
I said predominantly people of African descent.
People of African descent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Intellectual. Yeah, and they give up land.
And yeah, but think about this. The people and them was offered also in Port of Spain $100 to own their own houses, right? The buildings that they were occupying. And the leaders and them told them, hey, don't do that. And then those people and them buy into that and neglected the fact that they could have own property, right? For just $100 because of the length of years that they live in the property. They refused that. That was an option that they had. And they give it up. So why how they call that, the person from the head of Panchenbego. What is her name again?
Ramsey Moore.
Beverly Ramsey Moore.
Miss Ramsey, right? Miss Ramsey Moore. Yeah. She's a Tobagonian, right? And if she is a Tobagonian, and I know that Tobagonian people respect land.
Yeah.
You understand? Mm-hmm. They have a deep affinity to owning property and stuff like that. And that's one of the biggest struggles that they have across there. Now, she, as a Tobagonian, come and sell out Panchenbego.
Well, Mr. Intellectual,
something will be wrong.
Mr. Intellectual, don't forget, Panchenbego is predominantly Trinidadians, eh? Right? They have a few bands in Tobago.
Yeah.
A few bands. But Panchenbego is predominantly Trinidadians. And most of them, I'm painting a broad brush here, right? Let me say many of them do not understand the basis of land. Sorry, or else they would have told their leader. Leader, you know what? We ain't giving up that land there, you know, because we could have all kind of concert here, 365 days out of the year, pan concert. We could have tours there. We could be making money left, right, and center. But you know what them Trinidadians do? They say, nah. Let me go and get a piece of something building down in town somewhere down there. Go ahead, Mr. Nicholas.
Well, this is what they're talking about. The lack of entrepreneurial spirit in these people and them. Even though they're so creative, right? They do not value their creativity, and they do not value the spirit of innovation. Even though they are innovative, they do not really value it in a sense to put a dollar value to what they believe in. So what I'm saying is the brother had to rethink again and re-educate the people and them that he have the foresight for. And that's the only way things that happen. You can't teach an old dog to do new tricks. So you have to deal with the younger population, teach them how what they need to know, so that they could come up better than the ones that went behind. Allah bless you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that ignorance is the major.
You see something? So Western, welcome.
Good night again. I would like to talk to Professor, please. Professor, that land in Twin City was taken away from the Pandian, right? To give an Indian investor from India
Correct.
to build a cricket academy.
Correct. Correct.
And Ramsey Moore and them, when they was in ministry, they rent a building from Mitchell.
Yeah. Randall Mitchell.
The tourism. Randall Mitchell.
Yeah.
He have links with the family and they put them there. And then they come out banding about they're going to build a $250 million academy, a little circle thing. Like Napa in the heart of Port State for Panman, where only 25 people could come and visit. So you see what they're talking about. This will sound bad. It have people who like money and vanity to say they have something. But you see the way the diaspora of our African brothers and some Indian people, they feel money is everything. Because what I have, you wait, it come like the lady, when she see the honorable Prime Minister, Tadikans are waiting here since 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to go on the boat to get my glasses. She said, I think we can wait 10 years. What is a few more hours, sweetheart? So, you understand the point about it? Yeah. And then you see the ancestral sin. The ancestral sin. Look at where you fight for a professor in Lavantil to get children to go and elevate themselves. And because why? The parents lack of financial security and wealth to develop, to get something to give the children. But you see, plenty of them know that the UNC is here to stay. So the children will get free gate, free laptop, and they will get free housing, right? And free transportation. So if they get the money, they could go and lavishly, again, enrich a certain sector and business people in society who rob them blind. Yeah. So Master telling them, fight for it, take it and give back their way. So that Master will always be on top. So brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Joel, I want you to learn 2 terms. And next time you're having discussion with people from the PSA, talk to them about instant gratification and delayed gratification. Talk to them about, there's a tape by Malcolm X that says land is the basis of everything. You could take land and you could transfer it and say it's like a bond. You buy it, right? You could get interest on it. You have land, you could build a house, you could lease the land, you could pass it on to your family, generational wealth. Same thing with our bond. You understand? So that is all you're trying to get to help them. You know, but folks, before we go here, put your closing comments in the chat. Let's listen to this. This is a short one. Put your closing comments in the chat, your closing quotes, and send your closing voice notes. Tommy, you have any voice notes?
No, I don't see any at the
All
moment.
right, I just want to play this real quick here. I think COP sent me this, boy. COP, I think is you sent me this. I want you all to listen to this from Singapore. Listen to this quickly. All right, you know what? Let me do this. Let me play this video here on the screen. This one is a very short one.
Yes.
I'm gonna play this one.
I find we should finish off on this Cuba Children's Hospital.
Yeah, let me show this. This is innovation at its fullest.
Passionate.
Yes.
Very pleased to be here today or to return to this hospital. I will speak more inside because you're taking this photo. I just want you to know that all the children who are standing here with me are children who benefited with the Children's Life Fund. So we are very proud of that. And now,
see, all them children benefited from the Children's Life Fund. And you know, Southwestern, you just said something there. And Joel, this is for you too. You see the PNM? The PNM don't want black people to own land. Let me repeat that. The PNM don't want black people to own land. And let me give you guys a quick example. You see the Laventel to Wall Street Scholarship Foundation? When you all get a chance, go down to Duncan Street and Independence Square. And you will see one set of stone on the ground, and you will see Chili Baby. Right? The PNM mashed down that building rather than to make it the Laventel to Washington Empowerment Center. And some of them same PNM saying, hey, don't give him that. What you want that for? Evil and wicked PNM. Listen to the Prime Minister again. Listen. Innovation at its fullest.
very pleased to be here today or to return to this hospital. I will speak more inside, but because you're taking this photo, I just want you to know that all the children who are standing here with me are children who benefited with the Children's Life Fund. So we are very proud of that.
See? Them children benefit from the Children's Life Fund. But them don't want that. Well, let you all listen to this real quick. This is from Singapore. Is Singapore? Yeah, I think this is from Singapore.
We will introduce mandatory caning for scammers so that offenders who commit scams, defined as cheating mainly by means of remote communication, will be punished with at least 6 strokes of the cane.
Yeah, that? 6 strokes of the cane for scamming. COP and Tommy for scamming, you know?
Yep.
Scamming. You see the way you treat with little things? It's how you go deal with big things. Scamming. You want a scam? 6 strokes for you. Yeah? Go ahead and scam.
Under the PNM, they are there about 50.
Singapore is known for having some of the strictest laws in the world. And now, the country is taking an even tougher step against scammers. Recently, Singapore introduced mandatory caning for individuals found guilty of serious scam-related offenses. Authorities say this move comes after a massive rise in online and phone scams, costing victims millions of dollars.
In the first half of 2025, there were about 190,000 cases reported, with losses amounting to about 3.7 billion Singapore dollars.
Under the new
These are
rules,
staggering
convicted scammers won't just face jail time, they will also receive a set number of cane strokes depending on the severity of the crime. The government believes this harsh punishment will act as a strong deterrent and help protect citizens from works. Many people support the decision, while others debate how extreme it is. But one thing is clear, Singapore is sending a powerful message. Scamming will not be tolerated.
You know what that reminds me of? Stand your ground. Home invasion. The home invasion bill? Yeah, the home invasion bill? Right? Home invasion bill. Innovative. You want to do that? Take it into your own hands, man. That's it.
The amount of that Keith Rowley, Faris Alwari, and all them PNM and them, the amount of strokes them will get if we had a law passing Trinidad and Tobago over here. I don't know why Tati Kamzo passes that law over here. That big man, and whipping, big man for thieving.
Yeah, it was scam. Take that.
And you see all the time up, over there whipping them. When they done get out with the can't sit down. You become like a school child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was scam. Take that. Take it in your.
Take that. Take some whipper.
Take some
whipper.
Yeah, that's what we need, you know.
But that video, that 48 children that get support from the Children Life Fund, Penny and them can't show none. Who the help? Them can show how much children dead under them administration. Them cannot show 5 children the help with the Children Life Fund that Kamala Prasad business creator. Remember when them create that Children Life Fund, they put 10% of the salary every month in that Children Life Fund.
Mm-hmm.
and went away and raised fund. When contractors, big contractors was getting big contract, I can remember when they asked them, well, contribute and put money in the children life fund, and they, you know what PNM do, Professor Walsh?
What they do?
You can remember they had a minister get a stroke?
Yeah. Yeah.
Them help the minister with millions of dollars to go away and see about the health and deny the children their life fund money. Keith Rowley and the PNM under Beckles and them.
Yeah, but stupid. Don't forget, because when that Lavante and get it for our computer, don't forget that.
And he appelled that, and he appelled that down the hill. He appelled that down the hill.
I'd have appelled that down the hill and shoot.
Yeah.
Imagine that, boy.
And uniform. Maybe some uniform somebody else wear. Maybe some uniform somebody else wear. And she carried that for him.
Yeah. You should have waited.
Because it wasn't in rack. It wasn't in rack and proper package. Yeah. So you can know it's somebody, you know.
Yeah, you should have waited. You'd have get a free computer from Anticam. Jose Beckles say PNM to the world. Jose, welcome.
Jose Beckles?
Yeah.
PNM to the world? We ban you from this program, or what PNM to the world water? What PNM to the world water?
You might be a UNC man.
Well, say UNC to the world. What PNM to the world water?
Anthony Ford said it was coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah.
Them spend and not coffee alone. Not coffee alone. Millions of dollars behind big hardback man who was millionaires and who have money. Because I see about own health. PNM cannot show 10 children. Penny, I dare you to stand up with 10 children and say them get help under the Children Life Fund, under you and Rowley administration. But I could show 10 names and 20 names that children that die under all the administration and only keep a blind eye towards it and only even cover it up in the Ministry of Health. The mothers and fathers that was a polio in court under Adan Ramlogan for justice. And only talking. It's a sad thing. It's a sad time in Trinidad and Tobago for Penny to be opposition leader and speaking so much of ignorance. That is a betrayal to the future of this country. And we must expose them. According to Professor, what's his name again? Kojo, that man is a brilliant man, boy. I would like to just stand up next to Selwyn Kojo and take out a picture or something. I should be next to those type of leaders and them. I want to be next to them to motivate me and encourage me and inspire me. Being next to Selwyn Kojo is like being amongst Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela and these guys and them. Yeah, I want to be next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken Ali too is our boss. I like the topics and them he choose. He's a UNC.
So folks, we're gonna take that quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna wrap up. Of course, it was short tonight. We want you to get a little feel of what them guys were saying since it was their first program. Huh?
Judy Ali quarrel with you. Susan Lalchan quarrel with you. Many of them quarrel with you. They say the program going boring. But knowledge can never be boring.
Yeah, COP. Gordon, Gangachana, Dryden, Joseph say, Kunji, you ever cross Carney Bridge, take a trip up Lavanton and look at these houses on the hill?
I said a rusty galvanizer.
What houses on the hill? What houses on the hill you talking about, Gordon? Gangachana, Dryden, Joseph.
I said a rusty galvanizer, people that have no deed, they have no deed and thing for the property. PNM bring them from Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and tell them go up on the hills up there and live. and be PNM until they're dead. Whatever man use Gordon Joseph. If I was Wall Street, I'd have banned you from the program, and I would not even read your text. I would not even read your message and thing.
Oh boy.
That's what I should do here. That's what I should do here. You lucky me in control of this program, you know, Gordon Joseph. If I was in control of that, but nobody, your message never get to show up here, you know.
You're going to take that break. We'll be right back. Don't go to
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, COPNU on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't forget, folks, whenever you join us, share the live. WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe, WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And don't forget, share the live. We thank you.
I just got a voice note here. Let me play this voice note.
Top of the night. Pachi, remember when I used to rock with Sanderson? I was a man me personally. Yeah, we marched in town. Concern youth at Trinidad and Tobago when Atta Sanderson was around. All them time, I was pairing with Atta Sharon Kojo, walking on behalf of the concern youth at Trinidad and Tobago. I have photos up with him. When they sent the police to escort me because they said we couldn't march and we went in single files. We marched in pairs, we didn't gather anything.
Thank you, Alistair.
That good, Alistair. Apache is not for the radio. That when we in the bush.
Alistair say you want to call your COP.
He call the real name there. That's the name we grew up under.
Here's my closing quote, folks.
Today is Monday, and before any thought tries to distract me, I place my day, my life, and my steps in your hands. Lord, strengthen my heart this morning. Let your presence be the strength that lifts me, the light that guides me, and the peace that protects me. Renew courage within me and calm every worry inside my heart. Today, I declare that I am not walking alone. Your love sustains me, your care protects me, and your direction leads me forward. God, may this Monday be marked by a faith that stands firm and a hope that never fades. Close every wrong door and open the ones filled with your purpose. Give me clarity in my mind, peace in my heart, and confidence in my steps. May I act with wisdom, speak with kindness, and walk with assurance, knowing you go ahead of me. Let nothing stop me, let nothing weaken me, and let nothing take away the joy you placed within me. Today, I walk in the strength of God, a strength that never fails. Lord, bless my Monday and guide this new week with protection and direction. In God's name, amen.
And where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all. I like to say what I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent, and talent does not work hard. For every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become.
You get that, Professor Walshita?
Yeah, that's yours?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is COP closing comment.
Only know if I name Kyle Boss? Yeah, well, he's not.
Night prayer before bed. Heavenly Father, as this day comes to an end, I pause before I sleep to give you thanks, glory, and honor. You are the keeper of my soul, the watchman over my house, and the protector of everything concerning me. Thank you for carrying me through this day, for the seen and unseen battles you've already won. Tonight, I surrender it all to you. Every care, every thought, every unfinished task. I lay it at your feet. I release the weight of what I can't control, and I choose to rest in your control. Lord, cover me as I sleep. Wrap me in your presence. Let no evil come near me. Let no torment, nightmare, anxiety, or restlessness disturb the peace you've promised. I declare over this night, my sleep will be sweet and undisturbed. My dreams will be pure and prophetic. My mind will be renewed and refreshed. My spirit will be strengthened in silence. Father, send angels to guard every door, every window, every room. Let your presence rest over my bed like a holy shield. Protect my loved ones near and far. Cover my family, my future, and my faith. Heal what needs healing tonight. Body, heart, and soul. Restore what has been drained. Repair what has been broken. Recharge me for what you have ahead. And if I wake in the middle of the night, let me wake in worship. Let my thoughts be anchored in truth, not in fear. Let your whisper be louder than the enemy's lies. I declare, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No dark spirit will invade this night. No anxiety will steal my rest. This bed is blessed. My dreams are covered. My destiny is protected. I will rest in peace, not because everything is perfect, but because you are perfectly in control. Thank you for being the God who never sleeps, so I don't have to stay awake worrying. In Jesus' powerful and protecting name, amen. Bible Psalm
There you have it.
4:8. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 91:11. For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. If you're resting tonight in God's presence, comment, cover me, Lord. My sleep is protected and my soul is at peace. Share this prayer to bless some.
There you have it. UP closing comment.
And I dedicate that to the village family.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is excellent. That's what we like, Go ahead, Tommy.
This is by Kevin Roos. He says, life isn't about getting and having. It's about giving and being. Like I always say, you the man in the mirror. You have to become that change you want to see. However, if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. In all things, I give thanks. Love you all. We'll see each other tomorrow, God willing. Same channel, same time. Till then, good night.
Thank you, Tommy. And
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Intellectual, I think that what Watson Duke did, the PDP was on mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And what Watson Duke did today is show himself a live vest in order for him to decide that he's going to support the TPP and not, well, he didn't really say this, but it appears that they're going to support the TPP and not go up as candidates for PDP. So that's a good thing because there's one enemy and the enemy is the PNM. And I think a united PDP and TPP will be easier with respect to a victory. And even if the PDP go on its own, TPP will still win, but the margin will be much slimmer. So, and the only advice I will give Farley is to watch Watson Duke like the Koki Eye Station.
You asked for it. You will ask for it. You will ask for it. But leave the brothers and them let us show love and unity for each other.
Yeah, we'll put out.
I glad He's showing love and unity, but I just tell him, watch him like that cookie ice dish.
Watch him like you watching Rowley.
Yeah, watch him boy with that cookie ice dish.
Yeah, you might still have some vex. He vex with you still.
Yeah,
I would like to see the two of them become one again. Unity is strength, and strength is the power. If you don't have that power, you can't unite together. I want to see that collaboration. What they start with, that continue. Not togetherness. That.
Anthony say, "Well, shit, I agree with you 100%." Yeah, anytime, anything. So I put my glasses just so. If I look. Oh God!
Oh God!
You're taking no chances.
No, you can't take chance.
You know, what's the joke is my boy partner from years now. But when they want to give power to people that let me just hush my mouth. I would just like to say Watson Duke and Fally should show love and respect to each other again.
You did well, yes, you did very well. You did very well. Anthony says, good night, everyone. Be safe out there till tomorrow, people. Tara Brandon said, good night, everyone in the village. Good night to you. Mr. Intellectual said, Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose, if only they believe. Judy Ali said, night to Wall Street, Tommy and COP.
Good night to you, Judy Ali.
George Ramdeen cousin comment, Canon should be part of TNT law for scamming. Okay.
Good night to you, George Ramdeen.
Candida Doggy says, yes, Auntie Camps is head of the Caribbean, but I'm hearing of another Caribbean leader that is close.
And good night to you, Candy.
Ninja Gill said, blessed night, keep safe, and bless all blessings.
Good night to you, Ninja Gill. What kind of Ninja Gill she is?
Say that again?
Ninja Gill. What kind of Ninja Gill she is?
I don't know. She will tell you.
Oh.
You're not asking them questions.
You jump and kick and flip and play with sword and ninja standing.
Susan Alchan, they supi on your own with that. Susan Alchan say, good night, Wall Street, and Uncle Tommy and COP and everyone. God's grace and mercy to you, sweet dream. Be safe. See you tomorrow.
Susan Alchan, you need to send that in voice note. Good night to you and your whole entire family, your husband, and your children, and grandmommy, and everybody. Good night to you. That's the Tobago family.
Susan Lalchan says it's only one love in Tobago, Titi. Okay, I think I have one last voice note here before we go.
Not Gordon, though.
No, not Gordon Joseph.
We are original village men.
Good night to you. Good night to you, my friend, Alistair Gaskill. You're calling me, start calling your whole name now.
We are from the village. Tell them COP. Yeah, COP. COP are one set of fans. Folks, we are out of here. We see you tomorrow. Same WZYE time. Same WZYE channel. We will go to this tonight.
To our cherished listeners, partners, and the entire WZYE family, we extend our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support throughout our journey. Special recognition goes to key pillars of our community, Mr. Wall Street, Uncle Tommy, and Mr. COPs whose vision and dedication helped transform a humble beginning of just 5 listeners into the influential voice we are today. At WZYE 95.9 FM, we don't merely broadcast, we pioneer. We are committed to delivering the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Our promise remains clear. We originate. We do not imitate. More than a radio station, we are a movement. We are a community united by shared values. And above all, we are a family bound by integrity, purpose, and a relentless drive to uplift. Reaching 20,000 subscribers is a testament to your trust. We pledge to honor it by continuing to challenge the status quo, amplify authentic voices, and serve the people with courage and conviction. As we move forward, we ask you to hold fast to what matters. Stand for something. Keep the fire of passion alive in your hearts. May God continue to bless you and your families. Together, we rise. The WZYE 95.9 FM family, where truth ignites community.